coming at you, y'all. This is a special spoiler review of Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I am your host, Chris Fagan, and joining me today, we're going to be talking with the one and only Jason, the Postman. Man, what's up, Jay?
What's going on? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. We're here to talk about everything that's going on, all the spoiler review stuff about Doctor Strange. We're going to get into the specifics about everything that's going on with the multiverse. We're going to break down all of that nonsense and talk about some random stuff that's going on in the multiverse. Now, I've been having some technical glitches and things like that, so guys, bear with me. I'm going to try to get through it as best as I can. But real quick, like, what were your thoughts, man? We just got through watching Multiverse of Madness. Mm-hmm. I screened it on what was it, Wednesday? I think you saw it on Thursday, right? Mm-hmm. After it's been like about a week, like, overall, what was your thoughts? Let's start with you. What was your thoughts overall?
Overall, to be 100% honest, I liked it, but I was kind of disappointed.
What disappointed you about it?
Oh, and maybe I put my hopes too high, but I felt like they sold us on the fact that it was going to be a big time super multiverse of madness, and it was a little bit of a multiverse. It was a multiverse of craziness.
Multiverse of craziness, but
craziness, not madness.
I mean, but how do you quantify that though? I mean, because I remember, like, on the John Campea show, people were talking about, like, what about all the cameos? I thought there was going to be a whole bunch of cameos. Uh-huh. But it's like, and he goes, but it wasn't called the Multiverse of Cameos. So it's not.
But didn't they say that it was going to be a bunch of cameos? So this is going to be the most. You was going to see the most superheroes in this movie more than I want to say they said Endgame.
There was like. One of the things that they did say was there was going to be more secrets or more surprises
than Endgame.
Than even Endgame. Mm-hmm. Yes. So you feel like they didn't live up to that?
Nah.
What are you entitled? No. What do you want, man?
No,
what do you want?
I don't feel like I'm entitled, but hey, man, if you gonna say something, Kevin Feige, Marvel, you better. Yeah, do it.
If you telling that girl on the first date, like, hey, yo, it's like 12 inches, it got like I can give you like 30 orgasms. You better deliver, man. Yeah. So I feel like
people's gonna be disappointed.
So you think overall the Marvel fandom, you think it was like underwhelming?
It was underwhelming. I really do. I think if you read the consensus of the people, a lot of people saying they liked it, like myself. Right. I liked it, but they was underwhelmed a little bit.
I can feel that, and I enjoyed it. I thought that there was more positive than negative.
Definitely.
But we're gonna break down a bunch of that stuff, and Jason's only gonna be here for a little bit, and then he's gonna go bounce out. But Giovanni and Daniel's gonna be here to talk with me about this real quick, but. We're gonna go over like some random things that people have been talking about as far as the movie, and we're gonna get into specifics of some things like that. That's why the show is called Random Specific. But like for example, like one of the things, I don't know, was it you that brought this up? You said one of the random things that you wanted to talk about was the fact that Clea, at the very end of the movie, let's just skip all the way to the end credit of it. Charlize Theron ain't the first person to play this character. Clea, do you know what do you know about Clea? From the comic book?
Okay, Clea is, first of all, she is the niece of Dormammu, and she from the comics eventually becomes the wife of Doctor Strange.
Now, fun fact, guys, that actress Anna Marie Martin was the person who played Clea back. This was in the 70s.
Yeah.
Back then, because when I looked at Charlize Theron, I was like, "Who the hell is that?" The average moviegoer wouldn't have known who that was. Mm-hmm. You would have to definitely look it up. Mm-hmm. But she was. But this is a character that what do you know about Clea? You say she's like the niece of Dormammu.
Niece of Dormammu. Eventually, she becomes the wife of Doctor Strange, and you know what's so funny? A lot of people is like, "Oh man, why they just throw in her like that at the end? Nobody knew who she was." You know what? At the end of the Avengers movie, nobody knew who Thanos was. Sure. We had to find.
I agree with that. We had to. Nobody really knew who Thanos was. Nobody knew who Thanos. I mean, the average moviegoer didn't know. Would not know until you introduced them. Like, I talk about that all the time with with the whole thing with replacing Ezra Miller, saying that Grant Gustin isn't as big of a star as Ezra Miller. Well, before Justice League, what was people really thinking about or knowing about Ezra Miller? Nothing. So just throw Grant Gustin in. Maybe he might have, maybe not, but maybe he might have the same. You never know until you test it out. Try it. See what happens.
Yeah.
So Clea though, what direction do you think this might go though? With if there's a third Doctor Strange movie though?
I think it's gonna be. Now what they talking about they're trying to fix this. What do they call it? This. I can't think of the word.
Continuity canon?
No. They said Doctor Strange created by him going.
Oh! I know what you're talking about. When he in the 838 universe, he created a. And then if you're watching live, like help us out, like the event or what, like the thing the problem that he created. But with the Multiverse of Madness,
I think them.
I was about to say Nexus event. I forgot what it's called. But I know what you're talking about.
Anyway,
like you created you did some bullcorn, and now we got to fix
and messed up something.
You messed up something.
So I think with us seeing how they fixed that,
you think that's what the Clea conversation?
Man, I think we're about to see some stuff.
Dude, I leaned over to Daniel while we was watching the movie at the screening, and he was like, "Oh man, what's going on with that?" I was like, Hancock is coming into the MCU. We're gonna see Will Smith slap the shit out of people. You know what I'm saying? Because that's Charlize Theron, man. That's my hall pass right there. I love her, man. I saw her. I was immediately excited.
That what's so crazy is the actress that originally
Anna Marie Martin.
She eventually, and this is one of those random specific facts. She eventually becomes one of the writers for the movie Twister.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in real life, the actress. She's a writer. She's helped produce some big movies in Hollywood. But back in the day when she played Clea,
she was
that
beautiful
was back
too.
When Marvel was struggling to make a good movie. Like those Marvel movies back in the day was trash.
Yeah.
They were trash. But like why you got Christopher Reeves making people believe that a man can fly? Marvel was like rubbing sticks together trying to. I don't know what the hell they were doing. There was some bullcorn that they were trying to pull off. But hey, that was one of the things that they did. Overall, let me talk about talking about the Multiverse of Madness real quick. I thought the movie was good. There was some pacing issues and things like that I had with the movie. By the end of the movie, I was thinking like, all right, we've now crossed the threshold where I'm like, maybe you could have trimmed off like 5, 10, 15 minutes from it. It was too long. I heard that the first cut of the movie was like 4 or 5 hours long, and that's usually that is standard.
Oh well, man, but what for it to be? Because this was like right at 2 hours, right?
Yeah. No, like
it's right at 2 hours.
40 minutes maybe.
Okay.
But it was close to 2 hours.
Yeah.
But I thought they could have shaved off more.
Wow.
I felt like this movie was 10 minutes too long.
What parts would you have shaved?
It was just the dragged out conversations, like when he was like talking with himself from the other universe and stuff like that, things like that, like dragging it out.
Do you think that fight scene with the musical notes?
I thought that was actually good.
Yeah, I liked it too.
I thought that was creative.
Yeah, very creative.
With the musical notes and things like that. I just thought the conversation leading up to it was dragging out too long. A lot of the conversations was dragging out too long. But that's just me. And then let us know what you guys think about it. What was the other? What are the other things?
I want to talk about the cameo.
All right, let's get into it.
I want to talk what everybody wants to know, and when they come to this spoiler review, is about the cameos and what we thought. Marvel, for the first time, Kevin Feige, for the first time, listened to his audience and casted someone who we said should play Mr. Fantastic, and that was John Krasinski. And talk about perfect casting. That was right on. And I'm gonna say it here and now. I'm saying 100% that he comes back as Mr. Fantastic.
He will be Mr. Fantastic.
He's going to be the
moving forward.
Moving forward, yes.
I agree. I agree that he should.
You don't think he will?
I also agree that it could be a one and done. But I think it would be a waste. Because the man is a good director. I mean, it all depends on what the deal was when they negotiated and when they talked about all this stuff. But it would, to me, I feel like he can do it. He can be. To me, that was the biggest pop of the screening when I saw it. That was the biggest pop in my screening.
You know why I think 100% that he's going to be? It's like the average moviegoer. They go see this movie.
And all y'all watching live, y'all send y'all comments, y'all theories, and everything in. Don't just be sitting there watching. Tell us something. What you think about what we talk about? We're talking about Mr. Fantastic now. What's up? Say it.
That movie, the average moviegoer, when they went to see this movie, and they enjoying it, and then all of a sudden they see, oh my goodness, John Krasinski is Mr. Fantastic.
Right. Okay.
Let a little bit of time pass. The Fantastic Four movie comes out, and all of a sudden it's a different actor. Do you know how much? And you know these movies make money by the word of mouth. The word of mouth will go out so fast that, man, they changed up the actor. The average moviegoer is going to say, I love John Krasinski.
I was looking forward to seeing what John Krasinski was going to do with Mr. Fantastic.
And they changed him up. I don't care much to see this movie no more. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. Even you, like I said, the people that been there for years watching these Marvel movies and was saying, hey, John Krasinski is going to make the perfect Mr. Fantastic casting. They go to the new Fantastic Four movie and see, oh, he's not Mr.
He's not there anymore.
I mean, who else can you be? You done put the best, and you gonna go down a notch? Nah, I'm sorry. It's just I can't see it. I just don't see it.
I mean, who else? But I mean, there's a lot of people that's out there. If it wasn't John Krasinski, who would you cast as Mr. Fantastic? Like. Off the top of your head, I don't have anybody off the top of my head.
I don't have anybody yet.
The fans have been asking for John Krasinski and his wife ever since that movie that they did together. What's that movie called again?
Silent Place.
Quiet Place.
Quiet Place.
Ever since that movie came out, that's what they want. She's expressed that she's not interested. He obviously is willing. Do you think because he has made a presence that means that she definitely will?
I wouldn't say definitely, but it puts it up a notch, especially if they allow him to direct. If he allowed that,
exactly.
If they make,
and that might be why John Watts isn't doing
exactly
because they might be tapping into him. But here's the part where I don't buy that when she went out in that interview and she said, this is why I feel like she's bullshitting. She's talking about, oh, I'm not interested in doing MCU or comic book movies. Hold on, weren't you originally supposed to be Black Widow?
And because of scheduling,
you didn't do it. So don't try to say that you're not interested in the MCU. You were in the MCU. It was because you.
They say that. You know why they say that?
Because she's about to be Sue Storm. That's why she said that.
And they try to make, hey, when we do our contracts and everything, you gotta up the ante. You gotta raise my price.
Oh yeah, I was just in a quiet place, baby. I stepped on a nail and fought aliens. You gotta pay me.
You gotta pay me.
So no, I think she's bullshit. I honestly believe she's bullshitting because she was supposed to be Black Widow, and every time I think, and I love Scarlett Johansson, I love what she did with it, but I could have seen her as Black Widow. I could see it, and if I could see her as Black Widow, I could see her as Sue Storm.
Did you hear that? Was Bryce Dallas Howard.
You mean talking about directing?
Yes, that's
I
the
want
latest.
her to direct a Star Wars movie. But what are you talking about? But you want her to direct a Marvel movie?
Well, they said that she might be the director of the Fantastic Four movie. That's what the rumor is. This is what I heard. The rumor is that she might be directing and she might be playing Sue Storm.
That I will be okay with. Because if you got John Skalinski, you got Bryce Dallas Howard, yeah, I'll buy that. I mean she I would buy that. The dynamic between the fans will want to see a Quiet Place kind of a reunion thing. But you know what? Maybe she doesn't want to. Maybe she feels like there's another character in her future. If she was willing to play Black Widow, there's no reason why she shouldn't be Sue Storm. If I was her, Sue Storm to me is a better option because look at how they treated Scarlett Johansson leading up to the Black Widow movie. The Fantastic Four, man, I don't know. Well, it might be a bigger risk because there is also history,
the stigma
with the Fantastic Four, the movies that kind of flopped.
But you know what?
But with the MCU, with Kevin Feige,
and then we already kind of like threw out there that John Krasinski,
with the chemistry with her and her husband, they could make it work. And Kevin Feige don't make no error. For all we know, Kevin Feige could be the reason why it's not happening. He'd be like, you know what? He probably test screened it. He's like, I don't see it.
But I can't see that happening.
I don't. There's got to be a reason why John Watts stepped down. I feel like Kevin Feige went to John Watts and said, "Hey, look,
we got
Krasinski." John Watts has already done 3 movies with Sony and the MCU. It's not like he's hurting to do something with the MCU. Hey, step down from this. Let's do it professionally, and I'll give you whatever you want in the future.
Hey, Krasinski could have said, "Hey, I'll do this cameo, but you got to do this for me." Hey,
what's up?
But you got to do this for me. Gotta let me direct, and let me bring my wife in.
I'm thinking so. Hey, Daniel's made it into the building, but I got to set up the third camera. So.
I'm about to step away anyway.
All right.
I'm about to head on out.
Oh yeah, you've already passed your time.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's Jason, the postman Bell, already stepping out. Jason, if ever anybody wants to find you online, where can they find you? Where can they reach out?
Find me at Instagram, Style JS Bell, Facebook, Style JS Bell.
All right, and we're about to get into some more stuff as we exchange the chairs with him and upcoming Daniel Dyer. I honestly feel that. All right, Jason, I'll see you later, man. Have a good one. Be safe. I honestly feel that John Watts. Yeah, I feel like he probably stepped down because there's something else going on with this whole thing with the Fantastic Four and things like that. And to introduce the guys, welcome back to the channel, Daniel, the king of cosplay.
I've arrived.
We're back to talk about some Multiverse of Madness. And before Gio gets here, I got to set that third camera up because I know he's gonna. I set that up. But dude, we just started talking about Mr. Fantastic and whatnot. But first of all,
luckily I was watching. So I was.
We were there together when we watched Multiverse of Madness. What were your thoughts of the movie overall?
I really did enjoy it, and I loved how it was different than our normal MCU movie because of the things that it needed to be done, and bringing Sam Raimi in was perfect. And I loved the whole Illuminati scene, and of course that was my biggest moment too, which y'all said about John Krasinski. I cheered the loudest in that moment. I didn't cheer too loud because I still wanted to hear what was going on.
Oh yeah.
I'm not like some people who stream.
The loudest you were that whole time was when the Avatar trailer played.
Oh yeah. I was. That's right. I was booing the Avatar trailer. But in the actual movie, it was that moment, and perfect casting. I kind of have like a thing to say about the Illuminati too, in a moment. But yeah, I was gonna say I enjoyed the movie, and definitely the horror aspects of it were pretty cool.
The Raimi-isms, were you disappointed in? Did you like the way they executed the Raimi-isms in the movie, or did you like? Did you thought it did a good job?
Thought it was good.
What was that? What was some of the, as we talk about the random specific things about it? What was the random things that you? I thought you didn't you contribute to? You texted me and said some of the, like a random fun fact or something. What was the thing that you or if you can't think about what you might have sent me, what's something random or fun fact that you thought of from the movie? Or what's something about the movie that stands out the most to you that you like?
Let's see.
We can't have any dead air.
No dead air. Golly, I'm just drawing a blank now.
I'll put you on the spot.
Put me on the spot.
While you think about that, I'll talk to the. Leia M. Hudson says they would be fools not to bring back Krasinski. I don't know.
But I'll
be honest with you. You never know what Kevin Feige's thinking.
Yeah, but I just don't see who else could be him. And now
there's plenty of people that could be.
But now that we've seen him in this role, the fans will not be happy unless it's him in every time we see him. It's like if he's not in the Earth, our main MCU Earth, then fans will be highly disappointed now that we've seen him in this role.
She also,
so I agree with
Layel M. Hudson also says Deadpool would be able to be redeemed after X-Men. I think Fantastic Four can too. Deadpool was able to be redeemed after X-Men. I think Fantastic Four.
Then
we're talking about a production thing now. Well,
no, she meant us seeing Deadpool in the X-Men Origins Wolverine movie.
Yeah.
Then how we saw him in the 2016 movie. Then that was the right rebound for Deadpool. So, I believe, this just proves it, that Fantastic Four to be done right in the MCU.
I feel like Reed Richards was done right.
Yeah.
So, if that's an indication of how...
I feel like under Kevin Feige, it'll work.
Under Kevin Feige, we trust. I feel like it can be done right. With Krasinski, this Krasinski, this one he mentioned he has. This was the Krasinski that the Fantastic Four, after they've already had children, things like that. That's pretty much when they became the Fantastic Five.
He mentioned they had kids.
He had kids. I saw something interesting on TikTok. They were like, if the fact that he had kids indicated that if his son was in play, technically that he could have called his son in to handle Wanda. Yeah. This is a kid who create his own universe.
Yeah, and he can change reality too.
Yeah.
So what could he bring back this Illuminati, all the Illuminati who died?
Me and Jason talked about that before the show started.
Okay.
There was a TikToker out there who brought this up that said that based on how advanced that Earth was, 838, and the fact that they were mixing science with magic. And here's another thing. That Illuminati, when they fought Thanos, they didn't go through all the trials and tribulations that the MCU went through. They killed Thanos on Titan and was able to knock him out, which means that Mordo, technically, they should still have, maybe they're locked in a vault, the Infinity Stones.
Right.
They might still be in play. The theory was that after they defeated Thanos, killed their Doctor Strange, and then let's say Wanda came in and killed the Illuminati.
Right.
Mordo was still alive.
Yeah.
Which means that
he was down in that trench the whole time.
Yeah, when he came down, he comes out of the trench, sees that his friends are dead. No problem. Let me go into the vault, grab the time stone, and bring my friends back.
I was going to bring this up too.
Yeah.
So it's funny that y'all mentioned that.
Do you think that's likely?
I think we just see that happens because Thanos did it with Vision.
Yeah.
He's like, Wanda just blew him up. No problem.
Just bring him right back.
Bring him right back. If if Mordo goes and watches the footage, if I'm sure there's footage of that area, he said, "Oh hey, she just killed all my friends in this area. I'm the sorcerer supreme of this world, of this reality.
I got a time stone.
I got a time stone. Yeah. Oh, it's funny how y'all. It's funny we're on the same mind.
Yeah. I think that's very likely. Of course, we didn't see it. It wasn't on
Right.
camera because there's not enough time. I feel like that should have been an end credit scene,
Right.
or something like that.
That'd been amazing.
If they are planning on going back to that universe,
Right.
or not?
I mean, but we know now, like, Secret Wars is most likely coming.
Okay.
And so, I mean, there are a few ways that they could revive them. I mean, one with the time stone you said, but even like Franklin Richards has like the power to do that apparently, and he could reverse the situation.
Speaking about Secret Wars, now for those of you who don't know much about the Secret Wars, I have that here, put up a graphic. So the Secret Wars in the Marvel Universe, those words are as ominous as the DC's Crisis on Infinite Earths and its spin-offs. The word Secret Wars denotes a series of events in which Marvel's reality has been rewritten and remade. I never read the Secret War. I know of it.
Right. I've read about it.
Yeah.
So
what do you know about the Secret Wars?
I mean, basically, like, it eventually leads to all of them being on one world, and they call it Battle World, and they're just like all these universes are trying to duking it out with each other, and it's pretty. I know it's pretty crazy because basically all these universes are just colliding, and
isn't the Secret Wars also where the symbiote suit was introduced? Where Spider-Man got his first time was in contact with the symbiote suit, and then he brought Venom into the world.
Possible.
I think that's what happened, because I saw a comic book cover of Secret Wars where Spider-Man was like, in the black suit. That might have been where Venom was introduced, and now we saw that a piece of the symbiote suit stayed behind in the MCU.
Yes,
this all might be leading into Secret Wars.
I mean, I now that there's multiverses, like, there's no doubt it's coming. But even with the Russo brothers saying they would direct a Secret Wars movie, they would come back to. That's what they said. So I mean, I feel like it's.
So do you think Secret Wars should be the next like Avengers type movie, like where all these movies lead up to an Avengers movie? Do you think these movies? Do you think it's gonna still be the Avengers, or do you think it's gonna be solo project, and then lead up to Secret Wars, or do you think it'll be Avengers Secret Wars?
I think all these, what's all leading up to is, now with Loki, like, say Loki was the start of everything. Loki was the reason why stuff like in Spider-Man No Way Home happened.
Right.
It was like, if the events of Loki didn't happen, there would have been no potential for the other Spider-Mans to come in to the main MCU Earth. And so I feel like ever since then, like, and with Kane talking about, he's already been in a multiversal war, he's trying to prevent another one. So I feel like all this is leading up. Maybe it will be called Avengers Secret Wars after all we go through.
Oh, Marvel Secret Wars.
I mean, I don't think they'll put Marvel in a.
They probably wouldn't put Marvel in the title.
Like, even though the first movie was Marvel's The Avengers, but I don't think they'll like make it the main title. I mean, maybe it'll be the Avengers 5. It'll be Avengers Secret Wars. Will be the
I don't think they'll ever put like a numerical number of
No.
It'll probably be Avengers something, like Avengers Secret Wars or something.
Whatever title they want to come up with.
I think that
I feel like that's what's leading to. Not sure. I mean, we know for sure it's not going to be Phase 4. So Phase 4 goes through next year only. With like Guardians of the Galaxy, and
I feel like Phase 4 should end with a Fantastic Four movie.
I think Fantastic Four is towards the very end.
Of Phase 4. That should be the book end. I feel like that should be the book end.
I did post it recently, the whole rest of Phase 4. I believe Fantastic Four was
the end of it?
Yeah.
Or at least so far the end of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's really just 7 more movies and 7 more shows. And I mean, I feel like Fantastic Four was towards the end of it.
Yeah.
And I feel like maybe Blade's right before it. So
it's jam packed, and I don't know which direction they're gonna go to. Let's see. I think Giovanni is gonna be here in about an hour or so.
Oh, okay.
We're still streaming at that late, but let's go into some of the other things that's going on with.
I mean, like if you can look right there, it really shows Fantastic Four at the very end, on with Blade. But
Phase 4.
I would feel like Fantastic Four should be the very last thing of Phase 4.
Oh, I agree.
Blade. So Blade will be the previous movie before, and then Fantastic Four will end it. That would make sense.
So
all through the end of 2023.
Throughout the movie, okay, so when the movie was playing out when we got to the end of the movie, we saw that Stephen Strange was affected by the Darkhold and got the third eye.
Mm-hmm. That was like the big cliffhanger thing.
Yeah, I thought it was kind of but I mean, one of the things that I noticed is that first mid-credit scene where he got the third eye. And then
controlling it.
And then the second the after credit scene when he met Clea.
That was all.
We don't know how much time has passed between those two scenes.
It could have been a day. End of the movie.
It could have been a year. It could have been. We don't know. We don't know how much time, because it seemed like when he met Clea, it seemed like he was already like, all right, I got this third eye. I'm cool with it now. He seemed like he was okay.
He definitely was like in a lot of pain and all that.
And when he first got it, but then when he met Clea, he was like, all right, me and my third eye, we're ready to go.
Yeah.
But like originally, okay, so Stan Lee described the eye of Agamotto in the Stranger's first story. Unlike the MCU version, it's magical rather than an Infinity Stone. It's Stephen's most powerful tool, functioning as anything from a mind probe to a tracking ray to a magical phaser.
I mean, as we know now, like he's still using it, even though the time stone's not in it anymore.
Right.
So we know that now that it's more than just a thing to hold the time stone. Right. I mean, even in the comic book though, it's the thing that's on its forehead. It's the Eye of Agamotto. So basically, this kind of like they're changing up a little bit, but this is the eye, and definitely he's learned how to use it. So I feel like he didn't have enough of that dark energy in him to be totally corrupted. So I feel like he's still.
He wasn't exposed to it as long
as Wanda was.
To be.
So it was just the one time, and then they were all destroyed across the multiverse now.
Right.
That's like what Wanda did at the end of the movie. There's no more Darkholds across the multiverse at all anymore.
Right. So now this is the last. There's no chance
of getting, unless you actually go to Mount Wundagore.
Right.
And somehow.
I wonder what that means for any other Doctor Strange or any other person who had that book, who did not get involved in some of the Multiverse of Madness, who just happened to have the book, and then when Wanda destroyed them all, it just started to disappear.
Right.
I wonder what that guy was like. What the fuck is happening? Why is my book disappearing?
And like Mordo had the one in Earth 838. He kept it under guard and all that,
and it just starts to disappear.
Sanctum. But it's be like, what's going on here?
Liel in the book, and everybody that's watching in the comment section, like usually, like I like to go into the comment section and
hi Liel, I know you're my friend here,
and see what you guys are talking about. Let's see if I can pull up. Oh, why is the super chats coming up in here? Let's see if I can fix that. It's not working. Oh well, but. I'll read what she said. Leo says, I'm curious to know if A, do you think the Scarlet Witch is coming back, and B, will she now tie back into the X-Men since Professor X made a cameo in Doctor Strange? I'll let you talk about that.
So A, was she coming back?
I got it.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I believe she's coming back, because even after she destroyed the temple, Doctor Strange says she's destroying the Darkholds all across the multiverse. She's destroying every Darkhold, something like that. And apparently she signed a contract extension, supposedly. So, yeah. She is coming back, in my opinion. And what was the second one? I don't know if they'll make her a mutant. I mean, we'll see what they do, but as of right now, she's just someone who can do dark magic. And let's see what we say here. I mean, maybe she'll be She goes, will it tie back into the X-Men? Like, will she be a mutant, or what is she actually saying about that?
I'm glad you brought that up, because that's something that I put it right here. Let me see if I can find it. There we go. I'm glad you brought that up.
Right.
Okay. So we saw in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, he goes into Earth 838, a futuristic world. Red means blue. I don't know what the hell is going on with the traffic signals and stuff like that.
You don't go on green.
Professor X was there.
Yes.
The reason why the reason why Mr. Fantastic underestimated Scarlet Witch was because he was basically, everybody was saying, why was Reed Richards so stupid into telling Scarlet Witch her weaknesses? They were only familiar with their Wanda. And in that universe, Wanda was still in Westview with her kids.
Right.
And think about it. In their universe, the Illuminati handled Thanos like it was nothing.
Yeah.
They never had to kill Vision if Vision was even in play. They never did any of that where Wanda went through all that trauma. Wanda never became the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah.
Before Wanda became the Scarlet Witch, she was just using her powers to zap people, lift things up, throw things at people, and fly around.
She was being a superhero.
She was just being basic, basic little things.
Yeah.
This one, the Scarlet Witch, bends and changes reality.
Yeah.
They did not know that. So they underestimated
him saying Black Bolt can kill you with a whisper.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Like,
they didn't know she could like change his mouth into nothing.
Exactly. So they didn't know that they were. I'm thinking. So here's my thing. So we're talking about a world, the 838 world, where Professor X was there. He's a mutant. Wanda is there. I think the 838 Wanda was a mutant.
I mean, that makes sense.
they classified her as a mutant.
Yeah.
She was, maybe her whole history was different.
Yeah.
She was, for all we know, this Wanda right here was Magneto's daughter, all that stuff.
Yeah.
We obviously we didn't see that.
See, that makes more sense.
But
our
Wanda
main
is
MCU Wanda.
Was made from from Hydra experiments and things like that, and was given the power of an Infinity Stone to tap into her powers.
Yes.
This Wanda from the 838 world was a mutant.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, we handle mutants all the time. Right? We're the Illuminati.
I mean, she just, they say like she just has basic magic.
Right.
And so they didn't know she had all this. Like, our Wanda is much more dangerous.
Right.
Their Wanda is just like playful, like
she's just flying around.
Chaos
She's
magic.
Throwing things at people. She's just
really
zapping
magic,
people.
Yeah.
But the MCU Wanda, oh God, we didn't know.
She's gone through all her grief and everything has made her into this more powerful
messing
being.
with the Darkhold, all that stuff. So yeah, of course, Reed Richards underestimated her. He thought he could talk her down because he was thinking, if she's anything like our Wanda, I can talk her down.
Yeah.
They learned the hard way.
Yeah, they basically, he was trying to just stare her off.
Right.
Saying, oh, our guy can kill you with one whisper.
Right.
And then it's like, oh, that'll make her back off. I mean, so it wasn't really stupid on his part because he didn't know how the Wanda was different.
He didn't know that this was a more advanced level threat of a Wanda. But to me, that made sense. They of how easily she was able to tear through, because even before she became the Scarlet Witch, when she was on the battlefield with Thanos and was that angry, she almost killed Thanos herself. So they killed Thanos like it wasn't nothing. She almost killed Thanos, which to me,
she would have.
Their arrogance of we can handle Wanda to me makes sense.
Right.
We just bodied Thanos. We can handle Wanda.
Yeah.
But this is not the same Wanda, and they learned that the hard way.
I was like, oh, we took out a Titan with 4 Infinity Stones.
Yeah. So we can handle a girl that can just zap things with some
move stuff with their mind and all that kind of stuff, just basic magic.
And then they learned real fast that no, this girl is bending reality and is not to be messed with.
Right.
And that whole that line. Does your wife still does your kids have a mother? And she's like, yes. Oh, good.
They still have one.
They'll have somebody to raise them.
Yeah.
That line was the line where I was like, oh, that was when they knew, oh, we fucked up.
Right.
What did you think about that moment right there?
It's like, yeah, like Wanda was not letting anybody stop her, and I mean, I feel like, oh, should we still be trying to confront her? It's like they they were on dangerous grounds for sure.
The combined powers of the Scarlet Witch and this mutant combined.
Oh yeah,
in the same body. I think that's what they were dealing with. That's why Wanda was so powerful. Yeah. She was bringing everything that she was being the Scarlet Witch, bringing the Darkhold in the body of
dark
this
chaos
mutant,
magic.
Yeah, in the body of this mutant version of her of herself. The same person, pretty much, but mutant born.
Right.
But I'm 100% that Wanda that she possessed is they didn't say the word, which is why another thing I'm upset about. They didn't say the word mutant.
Right.
They never said it, and I'm pissed off at that.
I mean, it's. I feel like it's coming though. It's gonna happen. But so basically, what was her part B exactly? What was her
will she now tie back into the X-Men since Professor X made a cameo in it? Yeah, that's what I'm talking. Yeah.
I mean, I feel like not our Wanda will be a mutant, but
yeah,
it's just since she got her.
I feel like they're gonna collapse the universes, like with the secret world. Well, I think what Kevin Feige is going to do is the secret world is going to be like, well, this universe is collapsing and our universe is collapsing. The only way to save them both is by merging them.
But in WandaVision, they did hint that she had some kind of power all along. Like even before she was
being born, because her bloodline was. I think all of it is.
What did they called it? I forget what Agatha called it in episode 8.
Chaos magic. But whether they explain it, whether as a mutant she's still a witch, right? And whether it's her mutation that taps into that power or the
because apparently she called a probability hex is what Agatha called it. How she was able to stop the Stark missile from going off,
right? And
so it was like just basically very little magic, but they thought that it was like a dud missile, but it was actually. Wanda was the reason the missile didn't go off.
Right.
And then, so basically just her being experimented on with the Infinity Stone kind of drew her powers in a way.
So, I mean, in every universe, she is meant to gain these powers or become the Scarlet Witch, whether she's a mutant in one universe or is given the powers through the Infinity Stone in the MCU. She is destined, because Wanda is the same. She's a Nexus being. Mm-hmm. She is the same in every universe. So if she's
not, that's why she always looks the same.
Like if there was a universe where there was no magic, no powers, no superheroes, no mutants, no nothing, somehow Wanda would still gain those powers.
So I mean, because she's a Nexus being. Maybe she is a mutant. But
I feel like she's a mutant in the eighth universe.
But then, how would you say she already had some form of power before she got experimented on with the Infinity Stone?
Because in the MCU, witches magic was a thing.
Okay,
and that was explained. In the in WandaVision.
That's true.
And speaking of WandaVision, there's something else that came up. Another random thing I wanted to talk about. Let me see if I can find it. After watching Multiverse of Madness, what does this mean moving forward? Because we know that there's an Agatha series now that got greenlit.
Right. Like way longer now.
Wanda at the end of the movie said, I'm going to destroy the Darkhold. Maybe she's dead. It is the MCU. Maybe she's not dead. Or maybe we'll just pull a Wanda from another universe or whatever.
I don't think she's dead.
I don't think she's dead either. No. But let's just say whether or not she is or she isn't. Let's say for the sake of argument, let's say the MCU Wanda is dead. The 616 Wanda is dead. What does that mean for Agatha? Agatha was imprisoned by Wanda in Westview in the form of that character. Because is she now free? If Wanda sacrificed herself and ended her Darkhold vacation, what does this mean for Agatha?
Yeah, but we know for sure that at that point Wanda had not been tampering with the Darkhold yet. She started tampering with the Darkhold after the events of Wanda, basically after she left.
Which should imply that the spell that she put on Agatha should still be in place.
It was just her normal.
But Agatha is a strong witch herself, and if Wanda is no longer there or
does that mean her magic leaves though when she's dead? I mean, or does her?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would assume no. It means that the spell would still be in play.
Right.
But I would also assume that Agatha is strong enough to fight it off if Wanda is no longer alive.
True.
If Wanda's no longer alive to keep renewing the strength of that spell, Agatha should
eventually
be able to
break it. Yeah.
Because she's been doing this a lot longer than that.
Oh yeah, I mean she was back during the Salem witch trials, so we know she's.
So what does this mean? What would you like to see with the Agatha series that we're about to get? Because obviously it's going to be based on everything that happened after Multiverse of Madness. Like Wanda's gone, or Wanda has now taken herself off.
It's like I really wonder what they are going to do with this. I mean, definitely.
What would you like to see?
I mean, definitely we need some more backstory about Agatha. So. Like after the events that she killed all those other witches when they're trying to kill her. I'm sure we'll see more of her going what all she went through all through this time and how she came up. How did she come upon Westview? Like how did she just sensed Wanda created a reality? But I don't. As we basically that punny the answer to how did she know Westview happened and. Then I'm sure we'll get more answers of what she's been doing since all this, and so
that's one series that I'm very curious on, and I can't wait to see because
I feel like there'll be past and future stuff present time.
Exactly, I agree with that. And I would like that because Agatha probably has a very interesting story. Going back and watching WandaVision, if you listen to every little thing that Agatha said while she was playing along with the theme of whatever sitcom they were playing in, she was never under Wanda's spell.
She just acted like it the whole time.
She was pretending like it. Like she was like, when she said that line, I don't know how any of y'all get through this without drinking. She was talking about probably being bored. Like, oh my God, what the hell is this?
And it's like, she knows that these people are actually under Wanda's spell. Like, how are they able to get through all this?
Through all this and stuff. Like, I'm just pretending. You guys are like,
you're the ones who are actually
committed to the bit.
Yeah.
But
and then even when she acted when Vision touched her head, like she acted like she popped out.
Yeah, she was pretending.
And then she like popped back into it after he touched her again.
So she's powerful enough to break certain spells.
She was able to go through Wanda's wall without being affected.
Right.
And so she's definitely.
So what does it mean now that Wanda has taken herself off the board in one way, whether she's dead or not?
Right.
Does it mean that Agatha is still a prisoner? Because Agatha said you're going to need. Agatha on WandaVision foreshadowed that we are going to meet again.
Right.
That's why I'm feeling like Wanda can't be dead.
No.
Because you just left this person in place. Like if her chaos magic is strong enough to withstand, to still go on even after she's dead, that means Agatha is stuck in WandaVision land, or at least her person is, because Westview is free of the spell, and Agatha is just stuck,
only Agatha
acting weird. So unless that's what the show is going to be about, I can't see it. Agatha has to free herself from this.
Maybe we'll see that happen in this show. Maybe that's
how she climbs out of it.
We'll see like her past, and then like her. This basically shows
the struggle,
her breaking out of Wanda's.
And every episode is about her breaking this spell and getting out of it. Because she said that you're going to need me.
That'd be pretty interesting to see, honestly. I think
she said it. She said you're going to need me.
Oh yeah.
So she obviously, if I can't beat you, then I can be an advocate.
I feel like Agatha knows things that Wanda didn't.
Yeah.
She knows what's out there. Like, I mean, we were Cthulhu was mentioned in Multiverse of Madness, so she knows there's like more like dangerous beings out there who are all involved in this sorcery and dark magic. So it's like Agatha knows stuff because she's been around for years and years and years and years and years. She's well knowledge in all this dark magic and stuff. So that's why she said, "You're gonna need me," and then like. Well, I'll know where to find you.
Exactly, and I know where to find you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I mean, definitely.
That's why I feel like either she can't be dead, or maybe another Wanda from another universe will then take the mantle of starting from scratch. Maybe the 616 the 838 Wanda will then get folded, or another Wanda that's just like her will get folded into the MCU, and then eventually then still walk that same Scarlet Witch path.
Yeah.
Or maybe or something like that.
I mean, but I feel like the fact that she still has her kids and all that, she won't go down the same. Any other Wanda won't go on the same path.
They're gonna have to explain it because now that's a loop. Because there's a lot of
Right.
things that the MCU Wanda has put in place that are now just linked. Like Agatha is a big plot. Like,
Right.
that show needs to explain.
And is she still in this WandaVision reality? It's like
the city is free from it, but she is not. She in prison.
No, I'm saying like how we saw Wanda in other universes, where there still has your kids. Like it doesn't feel like she has like a whole town still under her control.
It's
just but somehow she still has her kids.
838 Wanda never had to do that. Those kids were organic. Like
somehow,
it's like I don't know if she. Who's the actor who plays Vision? What's his name?
Paul Bettany.
Yeah, I don't know if Wanda found Paul Bettany and just had kids by him because he looked like Vision. And made those kids or something like that. I don't know what's going on that they didn't explain it. That's why they should have had Vision in the movie. They should have explained.
I mean, I thought he wasn't being in the movie.
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean, they should have explained. It made no sense that her whole motivation for accidentally doing what she did in WandaVision was because of the loss of Vision. And then then it just became all about just her getting her kids. Like you totally forgot your original plan: get Vision back.
Yeah.
So. That they never.
But we know there is a Vision out there.
Yeah.
It's just like, when will we see him again?
Yeah, White Vision should have made some kind of cameo.
Yeah. Definitely.
I feel like that should.
But I feel like, I mean, we have to remember there were 5 weeks worth of reshoots. So apparently there was a scene before anything happened in the movie that the main MCU Earth Mordo that did actually come after Wanda. But then they reshot that where like you don't see Wanda until Doctor Strange goes to her asking for advice.
Right.
So we know apparently that scene was reshot. There was just our Mordo is still out there somewhere now. Yeah. The one who walked away at the end of the first Doctor Strange. So apparently they're saving him for Doctor Strange 3 now.
That was mentioned. Like I said, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness had to reshoot some scenes because of updates Marvel's storylines. Actor Bruce Campbell told Game Informer details. Campbell said that the film had to undergo some changes because Marvel has been updating its storyline from the wider Marvel Cinematic Universe. But that's a common thing. Like Kevin Feige always plans for reshoots.
Yeah, so but never 5 weeks worth of reshoots. Like, just never been that much. Usually, it's like a. But
at the same time, we're coming out of a pandemic, catching up with all these other things. And,
it definitely had to do with how Spider-Man came out first. Right. Originally, it was supposed to be Doctor Strange was supposed to be 2 movies before Spider-Man.
Right.
Back in 2020, no 2021. It was supposed to be I forgot how it went, but. This is be Doctor Strange was supposed to be May of 2021. Spider-Man was me in July. Actually, probably only one movie. So it would be there'd be back to back, but Doctor Strange would have been first. So I feel like with Spider-Man coming first, they had to do all these changes. Plus, with the whole trailer we got after No Way Home, the credit scene, they made it seem like Doctor Strange was going to be the cause of everything in the movie. Just by what Wand says in the trailer.
I always thought that was going to be the point of the movie. We got to get rid of all these Doctor Stranges throughout all the multiverse. Somebody was killing every Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like Wand says, you've opened the path to the multiverse. So we don't know who's going to come through it.
Right.
So they made it seem like Doctor Strange was the reason everything was happening in this movie.
And I thought somebody was just hunting all the Doctor Stranges.
But then the reshoots happened after that trailer, so. And even if you looked at the info of the movie, it still makes it seem like Doctor Strange was the cause of everything. They didn't really update the info of the movie, like the plot you can read on about the movie. It still seems like Doctor Strange was the cause of everything, but it's now we know that it wasn't. Right. Doctor Strange wasn't the cause of everything and all that. Yeah.
But so let's move on to the next topic.
Just the credit scene of him.
Oh, wait, which one?
With Pizza Papa. It's over. The credit scene.
That I thought it was funny.
Oh yeah,
I thought it was funny. A lot of people hated that.
I thought it was really funny.
I thought people were like that was a waste of a. I mean,
Marvel's done funny credit scenes before.
I mean, it was. Then I heard later that it was like a joke onto, like, I heard that Bruce Campbell used back in the day said something about in the MCU or Marvel back in the day, and it was a joke of him having Bruce Campbell punching himself was, you know.
Oh, it was a call back to the Evil Dead.
Oh, okay.
Because remember, like,
the fight with the hand.
His hand got possessed. His hand got. That's why
makes more sense.
Yeah, his hand got possessed and his hand was attacking him.
So it was a callback to that.
Oh yeah, I mean, I understood why they did it.
Yeah.
But
okay.
so and someone told me. So I heard one thing out there how like at the first credit scene with Clea, and how like it kind of like ruins the cliffhanger of the end of the movie a little bit. Or like, oh, Doctor Strange got the third eye, like, what's gonna happen? But then, like, the credit scene shows that he's okay, he's handling it. So they say that kind of ruined the big cliffhanger of the end of the movie.
Right.
Like, we thought this is something he was gonna have to, like, deal with a lot. But, like, now we know, like, oh, he's handling it without no major, problems.
Right.
But, so basically, it's just setting up. So basically, Doctor Strange 3, they're gonna be dealing with something in the dark dimension. And there's one theory that, because we heard that Doctor Strange of Earth 838 calls an incursion, and people would
encourage. That was what we were trying to remember.
I know. I did comment it earlier when I was driving over here, but so basically, what Earth got destroyed? As we see when we go to the one Earth where he fights the other version of himself, that Earth was all destroyed.
Right.
There's one theory it could have been that Earth that got destroyed.
Right.
Because he was only that Doctor Strange, Sinister Strange, was the only one left on Earth. Apparently, it seemed like, and so one theory is out there that was the Earth that the Supreme Strange ruined.
Right.
So on his incursion. So, but it's like,
the Multiverse of Madness and timeline.
Mm-hmm.
One of the big things that people were talking or confused about was when Kevin Feige said that all the things that happened in Loki is what opened up the Multiverse of Madness and whatnot.
Which made all this stuff possible.
The problem with that is that was explained by Kevin Feige during an interview.
Yeah.
It wasn't really made clear in the stories, in Loki or in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, my interpretation of that is, now, bear with me for a second. I'm about to go on a little bit of a rant. There are infinite multiverses and this and that and the other. Let's say there's a universe where Daniel is the richest man in the world, right? Now, that universe is here. This universe exists. Daniel is the richest man in the world in this universe, on this earth. Now, from my universe, where Daniel is not the richest man in the world, just Daniel.
Dang it.
He's there. I would have to go back in time, like with time travel and stuff. I would have to go back in time, manipulate a few things in my timeline to then put Daniel into position to become the richest man in the world, which would then, from time travel, unlock my access to meeting the Daniel who is the richest man in the world. Or if I had America Chavez's powers, I could just punch a hole into space and just jump right in there
to where I am.
Where you already exactly. I feel like that's what Kevin Feige meant. That the time variance and different universes are one and the same thing. It's just about how you access it.
Because now in your timeline, you go back into the past and creating this new reality, you've branched.
I branched off and created that
from your main timeline. You branched into a new reality.
I've created that branch to access that universe. Or I could bypass all that time travel crap.
Multiversal.
And whether it's a different timeline or a different, it's that different universe and that different timeline is one and the same.
Right.
I think that's just so much explaining. There's so much geeky sweat explaining that would bore the audience. It's hard to explain, but that's how I'm taking it. I'm thinking that all those branches and stuff that we saw in Loki and whatnot were leading into all those universes that were already in existence.
Yeah,
it's just that the access to it from either you're a being like America Chavez or have the Darkhold, and you're able to access those universes that already exist, or you can do it the long. I think the time travel is the long way to do it. You gotta for me to get to this complicated timeline, I gotta do this, and this. But then the question is this: how can I manipulate the past to create that cartoon timeline, that cartoon universe?
Yeah.
How do I get to the cartoon universe? What do I have to change in the past?
Right.
What frog do I have to step on in the prehistoric time to create an animated world in the present? So that's just me being super geeky on it.
And then, as we saw when they were traveling to those stars, there were dinosaurs still in one of the realities.
I think somebody said. I think was it you or somebody said that was Savage Land.
Could have been. Yeah, because we do know there is a.
Because mutants were. I mean, if Professor X exists in one universe, then the Savage Land would have to exist in somewhere.
So, but
that was probably Savage Land.
So basically, something to look back on how Change, and then the Loki finale, how he said there are all these other variants still exist, even though he warped the MCU into this one timeline. There are still other realities out there where he's still there, but they can't cross over because
Kang was keeping them in, just keeping them in check.
And so basically,
what he was really doing was closing off people's ability to travel the multiverse.
Yeah. So basically, he was killing timelines where if Loki wasn't Tom Hiddleston in every timeline, he would kill off that reality. It's like Sylvie, he killed off that reality. Gator Loki. So basically, if Tom Hiddleston wasn't Loki in a universe, he was saying that timeline can't exist. So we need to go take Sylvie and kill that reality. So basically, it was like this flow of time where there are other realities, but they can only exist in this whole timeline if Tom Hiddleston is Loki or if Tom Holland is Peter Parker in every reality. But as you see, right before he dies, all these branches are going out into unknown realities. Yeah. And that's how we got Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man 1 universe, Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man 1 universe.
That's how we got them, or that we gained access to them because they were already there.
But that's how
I feel like timeline. Timeline changing is the ability from the what do they call the main timeline? The in Loki, the one timeline that everything was branching off from. MCU timeline, whatever they call that timeline. I think now I'm thinking that it was just the ability to access those other universes. Time travel is one way to access the multiverse.
We couldn't access those or know what they even, because they were unknown realities to the MCU.
Right.
But as we see right before Kane dies, you see all these it's branching off from the main timeline, and that's what sent us into unknown realities, which did make the events of Spider-Man No Way Home possible.
Right. And those other realities were there. It's just that either, unless you're America Chavez, the only other way to access them is to manipulate your timeline in so many ways to what you would think is you're creating a new reality. Right. No, you're probably just accessing a reality that's already in existence. You just don't know how to get to it.
There is something that Juan said, how like there are unknown realities out there, which basically he said don't do that spell, and because
you're going to access another
unknown
all these unknown.
So basically, the known realities are where Tom Hiddleston's Loki in every universe, and Peter Parker is always Tom Holland. Right. So, but basically,
in other realities, it's
Gator Loki. There's Sylvie. There's
people were complaining why there are. I was watching the John Campea show. It's like, why is they got to fix that loophole that why Peter Parker is the same in some situations, but can look different in other universes. Well, but Loki showed that same thing. Why is it that if it was just time travel or time manipulation, then why did Loki go from being a boy to a girl, or from black to white? Or white to black,
the boastful Loki,
or from human to an alligator.
Right. Kid Loki in one.
That makes no sense. To me, what makes more sense is time manipulation is just another way of accessing another.
Right. I mean, universe. I think it's
because you're technically creating.
Yeah. I think it started in episode 2 when Sylvie sent all those little devices into different places. Yeah. That kind of, but then they kind of contained a little bit, but then as it got towards like where something happened. Remember when like Chain was like, I don't know what's about to happen now. And then that's when all this reality started branching. And then
we've now crossed over.
And then when Sylvie killed him, that's what finalized it.
When people always thought that because of the fact that it happened,
right before he died.
Well, when Wanda became Scarlet Witch, it was like, let's say that was like episode 6. Like episode 6 at 45 minutes in.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
That was on
episode 9
in episode
of
6 when on Loki when Kane became aware that we've now crossed over. It all lined up.
Yeah, the threshold.
And we crossed the threshold. Maybe it was when Wanda did her thing, or maybe it was when maybe it was when Wanda did her thing, but Kevin Feige said it was when Loki killed, or the female Loki killed.
But that started happening right before Sylvie killed, because like he was like realizing what was happening, and he like because I don't know what's to happen now. Like I'm totally. I
don't know. I can't
totally
predict what's going on now.
I'm not in the know anymore. Yeah. We've crossed the threshold. And so something happened where those realities start branching off. But they said it can still be contained if you two take my job.
If you take
But
if not,
But Sylvie decided to kill him, and it made those realities go all crazy.
Maybe what they should have did in the Loki series was have him say something like I don't know, look at the camera and be like, if you kill me, you might create madness in the multiverse. So, like just show us then that it was connected.
Yeah.
But Loki kept talking about time travel. Mm-hmm. So we just thought it was just we're all still thinking about Back to the Future and just thinking about different.
But as
we're thinking the same universe, just an alternate thing because time was changed. But we're all looking at it like it's still the 616 universe.
Right.
But I'm thinking, no, you change your past or change time enough, you're now accessing 838 universe,
right,
or 357, whatever. I think that's what's actually happening.
Yeah, we are going all these unknown realities.
Yeah, now, that time travel is just another device to access a different universe.
Like Juan said in Spider-Man No Way Home, there are unknown realities to us. Yeah. And I feel like now, like the one with Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, those are unknown realities to us.
Like what would you have to change in the MCU past to tap into the Andrew Garfield universe? Things like that. Yeah. Like certain people would not have to be born, or certain people would not have to gain power or whatever, and then you would access Tobey Maguire's universe, or Andrew Garfield's universe, or something.
How like there's no Avengers in their universe.
Because exactly, so that explains why they didn't have an Avengers.
Yeah.
Change the past enough where there's no Avengers. You are now in Andrew Garfield's universe.
But neither of them knew what the Avengers
exactly.
were.
Change the past enough.
It's like, great, what's that?
Yeah, exactly. Go back in time. Change the past enough. You are now in Andrew Garfield's universe. Change the past enough, you are now in Tobey Maguire. I think that's how it works.
Yeah.
And I think people are getting upset because they hadn't figured that out because they're not smarter than me.
Yeah. Remember in Spider-Man 2, then when they were trying to name Doc Ock, like the guy goes Doctor Strange. He goes, good, but that's taken.
Yeah.
So apparently
Doctor Strange, there
was a Doctor Strange.
Well, this was before the MCU. Yeah. That was an Easter egg back then.
But how were they able to do that?
But now that it's canonized,
it's like
now it's a loophole. It's a plot hole. Like what the fuck are we gonna do with that now? We talked earlier a minute ago about Vision.
Yeah.
Why do you think they didn't include Vision in this movie?
Do
you think they should have?
I really thought they should, but I guess the reason they didn't is just they wanted nothing but pain for Wanda still.
Right.
And just her trying to find her kids, different reality and all that. That's what they didn't want anything to like bring her back.
Right.
Which her seeing Vision would have most likely made her like calm down and realize, oh, there is someone still here who loves me and who I love. And
people were like, why didn't she just go to a universe where the kids were orphaned, where Wanda and Vision weren't there? And then people were like, well, maybe there wasn't a universe where there.
I mean, because apparently she was looking through all of them.
Yeah, she was looking through all of them.
Yeah.
Obviously, because Wanda's I feel like because Wanda's what's called a nexus being.
Right.
There is no universe where there's no Wanda.
Exactly.
Just like how America Chavez says there is no universe where there's another her.
I know. It's like
I got a theory about that. What if there is multiple American Chavez?
She's never found one. I guess.
But what if every time she goes to another universe, the American Chavez in that universe coincidentally has to leave and go somewhere else and run an errand?
Yeah, because she goes to a different universe.
Let me go to the 616 universe, and then the 616 American Chavez goes, I gotta go somewhere real quick. I don't know why, but I gotta leave. But maybe that's what's going on. There's only one America Chavez, so that explains why there's a Wanda in every universe.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the reason why she probably chose the one universe where she would have the best chance of stealing those, where the kids were organic and were real, which begs the question, who the hell is the father?
Right.
Did Vision organically birth those kids?
Yeah.
I mean, he is a very expensive sex toy. Did he?
I mean, it happened somehow in the comic books too.
It happened somehow in the
they weren't created by Wanda's.
Was her love that strong?
Yeah.
Where that robot was able to impregnate Wanda.
He is a what they call synthesoid, android. So he's not like totally a robot. So it's like somehow they managed in the comic books.
Right.
So maybe in these other realities somehow they were able to create kids somehow.
But it's the fact that Vision wasn't mentioned at all.
Yeah.
I mean,
except like in the very beginning.
No, I'm talking about by the other Wanda, by the kids. It was just nobody talked about.
The very first scene with Wanda, and that was about it.
You're gonna try to take you're not their real mother. You're gonna take away these kids from their real mother. What about their real? Where is their father?
Yeah.
So it's that was the one I thought that if I'm not saying that White Vision should have shown. I would have been okay with it. Maybe that would have been too hard of a fight. I mean, could you imagine that the Scarlet Witch would have went into the 838 universe to try to steal those kids, and then Vision show up to help? She wouldn't have fought against it. She would not have fought Vision for that.
Yeah. It's like just as we've seen, what if even when she was in zombie mode, like once she sensed that Vision was in there, she kind of
she stopped.
She stopped
because she loves Vision.
Yeah.
So
even as a zombie, she was still
not mentioning Vision was just.
I feel like I said if she saw Vision, that would stop her.
That would have stopped her.
Her whole reason for doing what she's
doing. Just
doing.
like when she stopped when the kids saw her being a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I realized that they're actually afraid of her.
So I feel like they just decided to write Vision out of it.
Yeah.
Because they know that it wouldn't have made any sense for her to. Because her fighting Vision in WandaVision made sense. It's like because she knew she created everything. It's like, dude, I just created you. Why are you arguing against me?
Right.
Like, shut up.
That's when she realized things were
never yelled at me like that before.
But that's when he was starting to realize that this
wasn't real.
Yeah,
exactly. But another Vision who birthed these, helped create these kids, and that would have been a fight. It was like, you're gonna have to kill me to take over, and that's one thing
which I don't think she could have done.
She would have ever done.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have to kill me to steal these kids away from me and my wife,
yeah.
So it was probably just easier for them to just write him out of the movie.
Yeah.
But I think it would have been more interesting.
It would have for sure
to have her oh damn.
Because it'd been she would have been conflicted then.
Because didn't they bring that up in the movie? How are you going to explain to them that you stole them from their mother? Oh, they won't know. I'll do whatever it takes I'll mess with their minds if I have to. I'll kill their mother, steal them, and then hypnotize them.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what she was planning on doing. But hey, the plan was solid.
Right.
I feel like it was gonna work until America Chavez outsmarted her.
Yeah. She showed her kids what she really is doing.
And let's go down the list of all of the characters real quick. Let's start with America Chavez. What do you think about her, and what do you think when do you think we'll see her again, and what do you want from her? How do you think she did, and what do you want from her moving forward?
Well, Young Avengers, most likely. Not sure where we'd see her before that. A lot of people thought her and Miss Marvel were the same person. It was no, those are totally different powers. I thought it was a good
Introduction.
So people were like, "Oh, she could have done more and all that." And
the movie was called Doctor Strange.
Yeah,
it wasn't called.
It was really just to bring no one
to introduce her.
It was really how Black Widow was introduced in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, exactly.
She was introduced in another movie that wasn't her title.
That's a perfect analogy.
Yeah, and so like every character, if you're not like one of the main Avengers at first, you've been introduced in another movie. Hawkeye, you first saw him in Thor.
Right.
Black Widow, Iron Man 2.
Right.
I mean, you first saw Wanda and Pietro in a credit scene first. Captain America: Winter Soldier. It's like they've been all. If you're not like one of like the top tier characters, maybe you've been introduced in someone else's movie first, and then usually you get like your own thing later on.
Right.
But people were complaining how like I heard someone like bring up how she didn't know how to use her powers at first, but then all she needed was like a pep talk.
Don't they all?
Right. A pep talk from Doctor Strange was what made her realize she can control her powers and all that. And it was always inside her from you were always controlling them in a way, because I mean in the beginning when Strange is fighting Gargantos, she like stomped on a piece of the thing she's standing on and a star popped out and knocked the brick down and hit Gargantos in the head. Right. I feel like she had some control over powers from the start.
She just had to build her confidence up.
It's just she thought it was always her fear doing it, but like she was sometimes she was able to use her powers without fear.
I'll tell you one thing. After I didn't know anything about America Chavez going in. I never saw her in any cartoons. I never read about her in the comics.
I just knew she could open portals to the multiverse.
That's really. I'll tell you right now. After seeing this movie, I am more interested in a Disney Plus series on her than like Echo or something like that. I think a TV series on her trying to find her moms is a better story. Like seeing what she's doing, or maybe seeing what she went through before she met Doctor Strange. And then season 2 would be her continuing to just search for her mother.
As you see now, they have her like learning the mystic art powers.
Right. Like, originally, she was supposed to be introduced in Spider-Man,
right?
Instead of giving the friend that ring thing. I think the way they did it was fine. Was fine. I'm curious though, if she was supposed to be in No Way Home, how the hell would they have explained that? Like, would she have been introduced in the beginning of the movie and then later on met Peter Parker to then?
Well, this was still if Doctor Strange came out first, right?
No, like she was like, instead of Ned getting the ring and doing that, learning magic, it was supposed to be America Chavez.
She brought
was supposed to be brought in that movie
she brought
to open those portals up to bring in the other Peters and stuff like that, and stuff like all that. All the things that Ned did was supposed to be her.
So I guess they just wanted.
But I heard it was COVID that kept her from going to do those scenes. So they did it with Ned instead.
Right.
But the question is though, how? I mean, unless you would have shown when Spider-Man No Way Home first began, you show show that thing where America Chavez, when she got sucked out of the portal when she was a kid with her moms and disappeared. They show that at the very beginning, and then not show her for the rest of the movie, and then she pops up almost in the third act or whatever,
right?
And to do her thing or something like that. But I would have loved it, just based on how charming I feel like she was. I loved her character, like the conversation with her, Doctor Strange, and Wong in the restaurant. That was funny as hell.
Oh yeah.
Imagine that conversation, or a conversation like that with Tom Holland, Ned, America Chavez, and Zendaya. I mean, I was like, I would have loved to have seen all four of them kind of communicate. That would have been funny to me.
Yeah.
But we couldn't get it. But
speaking of that scene though, like someone asked like, how did because he mentions we did have a multiversal event recently with Spider-Man. Feel like, well, how does he still know who Spider-Man is? Like, because the spell it didn't erase Spider-Man. It just erased the knowledge of knowing that it's Peter Parker. Yeah. They basically anytime he's encountered Spider-Man, he never removed his mask. So it's always there. Yeah. Like the spell just made you predict who Peter Parker was. Like the scene in Infinity War where Doctor Strange and Peter Parker were talking. We're using our superhero names.
he probably, that conversation. Well, I'm Peter Parker or whatever was, or I'm. That he probably never introduced himself as Peter Parker.
Well,
or he just forgets that.
I see it all happened like that, but their memories are just they never find out his name. They never see his face.
Yeah.
So
any memory
happened,
where you found out that Spider-Man was Peter Parker, that was edited out of your memory.
Yeah. It still happened.
It's still everything still happened. But if he said I'm Peter Parker, nope.
It's not in your memory.
It was probably in your memory replaced with I'm Spider-Man.
Right.
And that's all you need to know.
So anytime the Infinity War battle, the Endgame battle, like nobody knows. Nobody saw Spider-Man without his mask.
But which is why I'm glad they brought up in the movie. Yeah. They brought up Spider-Man. I thought it was funny how it led into does he shoot webs out of his butt?
Right.
I don't know. Probably. I thought that was kind of funny.
And so his whole multiverse thing, it all happened. Yeah. It's just he never knew it was
the knowledge of him being Peter Parker.
So like that's one thing people were confused about. Like how does he still know who Spider-Man is? Because the spell truthfully stated what happened with that situation.
Let's real quick. Let's talk about the Illuminati. Mm-hmm. What did you think about that whole situation? About how Wanda was able to quickly knock out the Illuminati the way the whole thing with Black Bolt.
Right.
I didn't know that was the same. I never watched the Inhumans. I didn't know that was the same actor. I was surprised that Kevin Feige even brought in the Inhumans because I know that Kevin Feige had beef with what was that other producer's name? Who created the TV shows?
But since they're all under him now, he's like
they're all under him now. Was it Paul Mott?
Was
it Paul Mott or something like that?
I forgot his name.
Got one of those producers. But if you guys are watching in the live chat, if you know that producer I'm thinking about, the name that Kevin Feige had.
Who was over Marvel Television? At the time,
Paul Motter or something Motter. Yeah. So I forgot.
Yeah, me too.
I thought because of all that he would never bring in Inhumans, let alone the exact same actor. We saw him do that with Daredevil. But that was more justified because Daredevil was so popular, well received, and Cox, Charlie Cox and whatnot, it's so remarkable. Now, there's a difference between Daredevil and the Inhumans. Mm-hmm. Daredevil was a success, Inhumans flopped. I mean, that's just money talks. So, but I thought the way that Black Bolt was the first to get killed by Wanda, and the way he died was a message saying, you got your little Inhumans cameo, now he's dead, and he ain't coming back. I'll bring back everybody else, but I'm not bringing back him. He's gone.
You don't see Inhumans at all anymore?
I don't think Kevin Feige... I don't think there's even a point to even use the Inhumans.
Is that why they're changing...
We haven't even brought in the mutants yet. Why would you bring in the Inhumans? Right. The only reason why the Inhuman show even was in play was because they didn't have the rights to the mutants. We now have the rights to the Inhumans.
Because there was to be an Inhumans
and the mutants are more popular than the Inhumans.
There was to be an Inhumans movie at one point.
Yeah,
but then
that was when
sent over to Marvel Television.
Kevin Feige didn't have access to the rights to the mutants.
Right
now we do. So. Why do we? Well, I mean, Wolverine. Who's more popular, Black Bolt or Wolverine? Mm-hmm. Why do I need to mess with the Inhumans when I got the X-Men?
I mean, do you think that's why they're changing Kamala Khan's powers for the show for Miss Marvel? Because they are changing up her powers from.
I know I feel like that there's going to be an explanation in the show why her powers are a little different.
Because
maybe they'll start off different, and then maybe they'll towards the end of the series they'll settle into
It seems like it's about the bracelet.
Yeah.
When basically she gets hit with the Terrigen Mist and she's able to like elongate her arms. And
I feel like maybe it'll start. This is me speculating that it'll start off by that, and then by the end of the series, they'll settle into what they really are in the comic book, or they'll just stay that way.
They're making her seem more like
Carol
Danvers and Monica Rambeau's powers.
Yeah,
they're making them all. Their powers are all the same, even though. But I mean, it's because I liked like playing as her in the video game. How she able to like get really tall, her fist could get huge and punch people. So I like those powers. So I was a little disappointed that they're making her powers similar to Carol Danvers and Monica Rambeau's powers.
But I feel like they'll. I mean, I can say we always say in Feige we trust.
Definitely.
I feel like he'll explain it.
Yeah.
To the point where you can't please all the people all the time.
Right.
Like people who are going to be hardcore with it, they're going to be upset no matter what.
I mean, I feel like it'll all make sense.
It'll make sense, but just because it makes sense doesn't mean you still have to like it. You still might not like it.
Yeah,
but it probably will make sense. And maybe it'll the show will suffer or it won't. But after seeing America Chavez, I'm now more hopeful for if they can do with Ms. Marvel the charm and the likability of me personally. Because like I said, I didn't know anything about America Chavez, but if they can bring that level of likability to Ms. Marvel, to what they did with to me an unknown character of America Chavez, I'm on board. From looking at the trailer, I'm thinking this is gonna be like, people are like, this looks like it's for kids. Okay, yeah. Just like the other movie looked like it was for horror people, and the other movie looked like it was for action people, and the other TV series was like it was Hawkeye was for Christmas. I'm like, they're doing different genres.
Yeah.
This might be geared toward teens.
It looked really fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought it looked like a fun trailer.
Yeah,
so.
I know I'm 40, but if I was 13 or whatever, I would probably be into this. Marvel has never done a teen movie yet. This is it.
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna work.
Though we know they'll always put stuff in something for everybody.
Yeah.
There will be something that'll be there for our age group, the younger age group. There's always something in there.
This is the coming of age kind of technically Spider-Man is a teen movie.
Right.
Technically, it's about a teenager.
Yeah.
So I don't know. People just want to hate on it just to hate on it. But I think it's gonna be a hit.
Oh yeah. I agree.
Moving forward, after the Multiverse of Madness, moving into we haven't gone through all the other characters. Like Professor X and the introduction of the mutants. That's still a huge thing. What the hell? How are we gonna do that, man?
Yeah, I mean, like,
we got
to explain where they've been all this time. Like, they're gonna do it, but like, why haven't they been present? Where have they been all these years throughout the MCU?
With all the stuff that's gone down, I think the only thing that makes sense is keeping those worlds separate, and then maybe with Secret World Wars.
So this whole time we haven't had mutants,
right?
Until
in their world they haven't had the Avengers, and in this world we haven't had mutants. In Secret Wars, both universes are in jeopardy, and the only way to save them is by combining them. And here's my thing: after that, I feel like you're gonna look at it as the way we look at time with BC and AD. Before the merging of the universes and after the merging of the universes.
Because as we know,
before the incursion, right?
But they say an incursion can only happen from dark magic or the Darkhold. So
Wanda. Thanks, Wanda.
Yeah.
Maybe Wanda killing herself was what caused the incursion. I don't know. But what I'm saying is that then when we do a X-Men movie or we look into the history of the X-Men, that it'll be considered when Wolverine talks about his past and stuff, it'd be like, well, I'm talking about before our universes combined. You know, I was doing all this, and this, and the other in a world where the Avengers didn't exist.
Right.
And then if he's talking to an Avenger, he's like, oh yeah, during back then in 1975, I was doing this, and this in a world where the mutants didn't exist. But it's complicated, but it's when you're merging two worlds, you have one person from one world talking to another person from another world. They're going to talk about the same timeline, but with different experiences and different histories because we're merging two worlds.
That's how
Magneto existed in your world, but he didn't exist in mine.
So that's how it's going to happen, though. What causes these worlds have to combine?
I feel like that's the only way to introduce mutants. Is to just have two worlds combined. And then that way, when you're talking to an Avenger, he's like, oh yeah, remember when we fought Thanos? Yeah, we really could have used your help, Wolverine. Oh yeah, well, remember when we fought Magneto? We really could have used your help, Captain America. That would have been cool. But now moving forward, we're all together now. Just feel like that's how to me, that's the simplest way. Maybe you guys might see it differently. Maybe that doesn't make any sense. Maybe it makes more sense to say that the mutants always existed. And we just never went over and knocked on the door. Like Doctor Strange was all the ones that was right here, and then right next door was the Xavier Institute. We just never went over.
Right.
We just should have went one block over.
Yeah.
He was always there.
And they say, like, with the music that played when you first see him roll out, that was like the cartoon music.
Yeah.
So he must have been Charles Xavier from that universe.
Yeah, that's what that's what I'm
the 90s.
That all of those adventures that we saw all took place, and then later on they decided to form an Illuminati. Yeah,
right.
I think that he is the Xavier from that cartoon. That's that universe.
The yellow chair, the music that played.
I think that's that same universe. I think that's what I think that because Mr. Fantastic. That would also means that a Spider-Man exists in that universe because in the cartoon Spider-Man then crossed over.
It's funny. I like when Reed first pops up. It's like Fantastic Four. It's all charted in the '60s, and then you even see Reed
which indicates that there are Fantastic Four already in the MCU. They just haven't been. See, in their universe, they got freed from the quantum realm.
That is the theory. Is that's how they'll end up in our MCU.
It just took longer. I think that's how
they haven't come out of the quantum realm yet.
It's easier to explain the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, they were stuck in the quantum realm.
Yeah,
and then all of a sudden, now they've gotten out of it. Which maybe that's something we'll see in Quantum Mania.
Yeah. Probably.
Ant-Man and the Lost Quantumania.
That's gonna be a lot.
Yeah.
Let me see if I can pull up some of these the questions.
What other characters?
I was trying to pull up the comments. It's not. See if I can pull it up here. No, not showing up here. Chat box is not showing what I had displayed. I'll just read it out. From the Keeg Show. Go follow him on his YouTube channel and on all his social media. The Keeg, that's Keeg. The Keeg, that's geek spelled backwards. He's a good guy. He knows a lot about a little about a lot of things. If you could go to any universe in our multiverse, what would it be? E.g., a universe where you got with your first crush. If you could go to any universe, which universe would it be? The universe where I was rich.
Right.
That would be the universe. That universe where I didn't listen to my friend and sell all my stock of Apple right before the iPhone was introduced. That really happened to me. I had all these shares of Apple, and my friend convinced me to sell them, and I did. A couple of months later, the iPhone was introduced, and that stock never came back down to where I could afford it.
Right. Shoot.
I'd go to that universe. What about you? If you had a universe where you were the big boss, man.
Right. Shoot. Maybe don't move in with that girl who I thought would be around for a long time, who I trusted with moving in with her, and then she just bailed after 2 months.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the universe I go to. Don't move in with this girlfriend who I thought would be around for a long time, and me helping her out because her mom kicked her out of her house.
Damn, getting personal.
Yeah. That's what. Don't trust her.
From Ryan O'Toole, the question is: do you feel the MCU has any sense of direction after viewing the Multiverse of Madness?
Yes.
What do you think, Rich? Where do you think it's heading? What's the direction?
I mean, yes, we don't feel all these connections happening like we felt. But we kind of felt that way in the phase one. Mm-hmm. We didn't have all this. Basically, this is like the new phase one.
I mean, when Samuel Jackson said, "We want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative," I mean, it was obvious. All right, we might be getting an Avengers movie. Yeah. But do you have any sense of everybody's saying Secret Wars? Mm-hmm. But is that what you're really feeling?
I mean, now that we're doing all this multiverse stuff, yes, I truly do. It's leading into Secret Wars. Yeah. And I mean, basically, it feels like this is now phase one again, and we're introducing new characters. Like we've seen Wong in Shang-Chi. We've seen what else? What other connections have we had? I mean, basically, it's happening. It's basically we're seeing it's like it's all starting over again from like a phase one perspective. Like we'll see characters pop up in other things. Like we've seen Wong pop up in Shang-Chi. We've seen, I'm trying to think of some others. But yeah, basically it's happening like that over again. Where we're like basically this is like a phase one over again, and we're slowly. I saw Robert Storms talk about this on his thing, at first we didn't know for sure if this whole thing would lead to Avengers movie. Like, we didn't know Loki was going to be the villain of Avengers 1, and we didn't know Thanos was going to be in the credit scene. Like, it's just, it's all of a sudden like, it happened. Like, oh my God, we're now in a greater universe.
Okay.
And I mean, basically, I feel like that's what's going to happen with Phase 4 too. We're slowly going to get these connections and what's coming and all that. Same thing we got with how it all went through Phase 1. Also, oh no, big reveal, Thanos was in the credit scene of Avengers 1. Right. I feel like that's going to happen again somehow.
Okay.
So I feel like, yes, it doesn't seem like it's all connected. Like how, like in Moon Knight, there wasn't really any connections. But I feel like eventually it's all going to come together. And that's how I feel though.
And Rachel Reviews, she asks, how do you feel about Stage 4 and where DS2 fits? DS2.
S2.
Doctor Strange 2 fits in with for the multiverse. The MCU. How do you feel about Stage 4 and where Doctor Strange 2 fits in with it for the MCU? I guess we kind of already answered that question. I mean, I feel like we talked about that earlier. If Wanda is dead, and that's why I put her up again on the screen. If she's dead, what does that mean for Agatha?
Right.
If where's Vision? Does this mean with this Wanda being dead? Does that mean that the Wanda we were introduced to in Earth 838 is going to become because if we pull in a Wanda without the baggage that from the MCU and from another universe, that's a clean slate Wanda. Yeah. She's nice. She never became an evil, jaded Scarlet Witch. She has her kids, and now then all she has to do is find Vision, and that's it. Maybe she'll be happy and all that. And like I said earlier, she's a mutant. I don't care what. I don't know why no one's talking about that. If that Wanda was in the same universe with Professor X, and if Professor X is a mutant, it stands to reason that Wanda is also a mutant.
Right.
And that's another way to bring mutants in.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel like she's gone through all this pain and all that.
Or maybe she's going to go through some pain and then she'll bring in maybe her powers is what's going to bring the mutants in. I feel like that Wanda from Earth 838 is going to become... I mean, obviously, it's Elizabeth Olsen still playing her. I think she's about to become the new Wanda, and she's gonna have to take on the mantle of the Scarlet Witch, and that's who.
But I just don't think our 616 is it? No, not really 616.
The MCU is 616.
Okay. But see, it's weird because they've been saying it's Earth 199999 all this time.
Who?
If you like look it up, it's been said that like it's Earth 19999.
Well, that's not what Doctor Strange 2 said. They said it was 616.
But how does Christine from Earth 838 know what our
because she named
number is?
Because on her world, that's the number she's designating
so
everything. We might call our universe 1999, but they might call our universe Earth 4.
Our designation is apparently over there 616.
Yeah, who gets to decide?
But
I'm gonna believe that the Earth 838 is the one universe that's even attempted to designate all these universes. Yeah. So if they've found more universes, then let them name it.
But see, 616 is the comic book universe, and as we far know, our MC it is like if you look up the main, it's the 616 is the comic book universe, and if you look at our main MCU universe, it's nothing like that. So I don't really agree with how she's calling our designation for the main MCU Earth 616 when it's very different.
Christine, shut up.
From Earth 838, you're just making up your own numbers.
That's true.
But it's totally different. So I believe it's more Earth 1 with 5 nines. It's Earth 19999.
Yeah.
And so it feels totally different than the comic book universe, which is 616. So yeah. I believe it's Earth 19999.
Hey, Gio.
I know. I've been watching.
Oh, nice.
Pretty much
I've been hearing all the questions you guys have.
We can still have your input, though.
Yeah, right.
What universe do I want to be in? Universe where I have superpowers.
There you go. That'd be amazing.
I mean, right? I don't have a third chair. Maybe I can just...
Oh, you got a chair. You can pull one from over there.
Over there? All right.
I just don't have the camera set up.
Move my backpack.
You'd have to sit between all of us.
This big chair right here?
Yeah. But we already gone through all the questions of the day. So I guess one last question, to bring up that we haven't already talked about was that conversation between Mordo and Strange.
Which one exactly?
I don't know. You might want to bring, because I was gonna set up the third camera over there, but I didn't. I didn't get to set it up. So you can bring it up. Come on behind me. Just whatever you have to break, just break it.
Knock everything over.
Do you think he was
which conversation?
Here's a theory. Remember when Mordo and Doctor Strange were fighting, and he said, when Doctor Strange was trying to get under Mordo's, get his goat,
to attack him, to break the thing.
He said, "You probably gave your Doctor Strange that dark hole. Turn to me, but
even though you called me your brother,
but my
you secretly
Mordo
hated me.
ass,
Yeah,
and you secretly hated me. Maybe you did too." Now, Jason, before he left, he brought that up. He was like, maybe that was the situation. I'm 50-50 on it. Maybe Mordo got offended because who is this? Because his Doctor Strange was corrupt and they had to destroy him.
Right.
Who is this variant of Doctor Strange from this other universe to even question me? Maybe that's why Mordo got mad. Mm-hmm. Or was Doctor Strange's theory correct? Maybe Mordo did set up their Doctor Strange and turn him to the Darkhold because he knew what it would do.
Right.
What do you think? What do you think is more likely? That Mordo was a brother, or that Mordo was a villain?
I think he was more of a villain. I think this Mordo got what he wanted in his universe, whereas the universe in the MCU, Mordo didn't become the Sorcerer Supreme, and that's what
I thought he was the Sorcerer Supreme of Earth.
Well, after
838.
Well, yes, he is now after Strange.
Yeah, after when Strange died in that universe.
Yeah, and that's Strange. He is now the Sorcerer now.
But
so when Strange comes from another universe and questions him and goes, maybe you set up your Doctor Strange.
Yeah. That's even though you said he's your brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he double crossed him.
Maybe, or maybe Mordo didn't double cross him, but he was so offended that Doctor Strange is questioning me.
As you said,
after I have to save the world from our evil Doctor Strange who got corrupted. Is it likely that he was offended or that he was caught?
It's 50-50. I don't know if I'll ever get answers for it, but I feel like it could be either or for sure.
What would you prefer?
There are two sides to it, right? I think it was more like Mordo got what he wanted in his universe, where he convinced the Illuminati that Doctor Strange is the big baddie. It's not even Scarlet Witch. Don't even worry about Scarlet Witch.
Right.
And I feel like he wanted to become the Sorcerer Supreme so bad that he convinced them that, Doctor Strange is one of the most dangerous beings in the universe. So we have to eradicate him. And I feel like that's why they convinced the Illuminati to kill him in their universe so that he could be Sorcerer Supreme and not Doctor Strange.
Right.
And which led to their fight. And Doctor Strange and Universe 838 realizing that, he goes, you never liked me. You were never my brother.
Yeah.
And I agree that Doctor Strange was he realized that, and
because what did he say? I'm starting to see why
your
Mordo did not like you.
Yeah.
But because that could have just been a joke of the fact that he was able to get under Mordo's skin, even in a different universe.
Yeah.
Which leads me to believe that maybe that Mordo was good.
Mm-hmm.
Which is easily voted.
I want him to be good.
Yeah,
so
I want him to be good
I want him to be good.
Until we started seeing when Doctor Strange drank that tea, and then the camera movie just it looked like he was on drugs. And I'm like, oh no, what are they doing to him?
we thought he was be a villain, but it was really just because they thought Strange was
was evil.
Was dangerous.
Was dangerous.
Was just as dangerous as the
That's
Strange
why
that they had to take care of.
Yeah.
So, moving forward, okay. So we're going into Doctor Strange 3. Hopefully, we have my hall pass. Charlize Theron.
Clea.
Yes.
Clea.
Sorry. And I mentioned that I was like, was it you that I whispered to? I said, oh man, we're getting Hancock
Right.
into the MCU.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
During the showing.
But do you think now it's time for what's his name? For Mordo to now become the villain of the story? Like
I feel like the Mordo from the main MCU Earth. Yes.
Yeah. You think he's going to be the main villain of Part 3? Like maybe Mordo gets corrupted by Dormammu.
I mean, just the fact that he's going around taking powers from other sorcerers, that makes him enough of a villain.
And the end credit scene of Doctor Strange 1 where he goes, there are too many sorcerers.
Yeah. I mean, that's why he's doing what he's doing. And that makes him enough of a villain.
He still has his powers. We just haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, but if he was so convicted of getting rid of all those damn sorcerers, why didn't he start with Wanda?
Well, originally, like I told you, before the reshoots, there was a scene where he goes to Wanda's cabin and all that, and they end up fighting.
Strange or
Mordo. Originally, they said like there was a scene between Mordo and Wanda fighting at the very, very beginning of Doctor Strange, but they wanted to keep the secret a little bit longer that Wanda was going to be the villain, and so they cut that scene. And so, I mean, it makes sense because Mordo's out there trying to get all these people's powers.
Yeah.
And trying to take people's powers from evil. So I feel like they strapped that to keep Mordo around a little bit longer, because Wanda probably would have killed him.
Easily, just like
and
she.
So let's keep Mordo for the next movie, and he could be this big bad going around taking people's powers still.
Honestly, I feel like it's going to be Dormammu, because that's where Clea was taking Strange to I think it's the Dark Dimension.
Yeah, that was
and that's where Dormammu's lair is.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I feel like it could be both, because I feel like Mordo could be around causing issues, but Dormammu still. Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens though. But I mean, the fact that they didn't put Mordo in this movie after that first movie credit scene, I feel like he's definitely being the next.
Yeah, I thought he was definitely going to be the villain.
Yeah.
But honestly, I don't know if y'all said this yet, but Scarlet Witch as the villain was perfect. I thought she was so powerful.
Even though our predictions about that were wrong, we thought the villain was
going to be the other way around.
Yeah.
I thought that
our Wanda wasn't being the villain.
That was
our
an evil Wanda from another universe was going to come in and whatnot, and then our Wanda was going to defeat her and take her kids.
Yeah.
But it was the other way around. It was the MCU Wanda was the one trying to steal kids.
Because she was still traumatized of what she did in WandaVision.
Which made more sense. But I thought if you wanted to have your cake and eat it too, and try to keep the Wanda that we come up with, still have her go through her little evil arc, but still be able to be redeemable, I thought it would make more sense to just have a more eviler Wanda come through and be like, I'm eviler Wanda, and I've got my kids. And I beat them every day, and then our Wanda would be like, "Well, I will save those kids, and I will become their new mother."
But see, I feel like there was a little bit of like continuity here with how WandaVision ended. How because when she's in there looking through the universes, her kids were yelling out for help. So it made it seem like she was going to go and rescue.
Rescue.
Some kids.
That was actually recycled sound from earlier. When Agatha was holding on, was holding him to, that was the exact same sound. They just,
but still, they made it seem that way, that she was going to go rescue Billy and Tommy that were in danger from
that's why I assumed it was going to be an eviler Wanda coming in to be the real bad guy, and then our Wanda would be redeemed by becoming the new mother of those real, organic, non-fake kids.
Because it made it seem with how WandaVision ended before the credit scene was like she was on her redemption path.
Yeah.
And so the fact that they made her villain kind of like, that was like a total like 180.
It still doesn't make sense to me how another universe she has kids. Like, who's the father?
We already talked about that. Who was dad?
Yeah, but we basically we think they're real.
You can't procreate with Vision. He's not a human. So.
Comic book could happen somehow. I think that her kids are real in the comic books.
I think that Wanda had an arrangement with the actor in that universe, and Vision gets to watch in the background with a cigar. Like, it's okay. Go ahead, do it. And and then there was an arrangement. I think there was some. I think there was an arrangement.
I mean, it happened somehow in the comic books. Her kids end up being real.
And then Vision, after a while, he couldn't handle it, and he disappeared.
Oh, I hope you didn't cover all the questions, because I did write a bunch of them. So
what you got? Because we're already heading to the 2-hour mark.
So I know. Well, let's keep going with Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Morbius.
The Multiverse of Morbius.
So how is there going to be a Doctor Strange 3 since Morbius took over the multiverse? Like, how are we going to... No. So you already talked about if Wanda's really dead. We hope. I hope she's.
I don't
not
think
dead.
she is. Plus, there's rumors that she had her contract extended.
Okay.
So
how does America Chavez not know who Spider-Man is, but Strange does? And she's the one who travels through different universes, and she didn't encounter at least one Spider-Man?
She said that she's only traveled to that universe. She didn't say
she traveled to 72.
She traveled to 7 universe, but there's infinite. There's trillions upon trillions of universes.
Doesn't mean she's ran into a Spider-Man. Maybe she hasn't run into one.
Did she always land in New York?
Yeah.
She probably landed in other countries, other states. She just went to look for food mostly.
Yeah,
her pizza.
And then on top of that, look how young she was when she first disappeared.
Oh yeah.
Spider-Man probably wasn't in play in most of those universes at the time. He probably didn't get bit by the spider at that point.
Yeah.
And
because I already found out in Civil War it had only been like 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, he was like what, 16 or?
Well, he was like a sophomore basically in Civil War.
It looks like she and Tom Holland are close to the same age.
And
so if she got sent into the universes when she was like what, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, she was younger than 10. It looked like
Spider-Man wasn't Spider-Man then.
No,
and probably in any of them.
He was still part of that little cameo.
He was probably still a little kid.
Yeah, and then we found out in Civil War he'd only had power for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I get that. I mean, like there is an infinite universes, and I guess, you could just say because the multiverse, right?
Yeah.
Maybe she didn't encounter him in the multiverse.
And we were talking about earlier about how the time, like how another way of, because Kevin Feige said that the reasons why everything that's happening in the Multiverse of Madness is all due to what Loki did in his series. That changing a timeline or changing the past is just, in my opinion, another way of accessing a different universe. That is one and the same.
Yeah,
one and the same thing.
If we remember what Bruce Banner says in Endgame, how they're like, why don't we just go back in the past and kill Thanos? It's like, no, that's not how that works. That will be your new future.
Yeah.
Because like you and your current present will be your past.
Yeah.
And you go back and change in the timeline.
You still left the Earth where Thanos is still there messing stuff up. You just now living in a new Earth where
so you basically you just created a branch timeline because now you're
just technically in the. I feel like you can either access a different universe 2 ways. One being America Chavez punching a hole into the universe and going to it directly, or doing it the long way. From your timeline, manipulating the past so many ways until you create that universe that you're trying to get to.
And the Loki show explored that too.
Yeah. I think it's one. At first I thought that was really confusing. First I thought people thought it was 2 different things. Either it's a different timeline or it's a different universe. 2 separate things. Kevin Feige says they're the same. I feel like they're the same. Like there's just 2 ways to access it. Earlier I was saying it was the example of a universe where Daniel was the richest man in the world.
Yeah, but in your universe, I'm not.
Yeah, either I can go straight to that universe like America Chavez, or from my timeline, I can manipulate the past and just put things in place until he becomes the richest man in the world.
It'll branch out your reality into my universe.
And that's just another way of access. There's an easy way and a hard way to access a reality.
It's like when Captain America went back in time and just decided to live in his entire life up until that point, and he got old and married the woman he loved, and that's how he lived his life.
Yeah,
from all the way from the 40s to the present.
And pretty much he created a new universe where we now have an old Captain America, or something like that.
It's funny how I was mentioning how what Kane says, and how you saw all those realities branching out.
Yeah.
And then what Wand says in Spider-Man, how like if you do this spell and something goes wrong, you're going to be branching out into unknown realities, which is a reality where Tom Holland isn't Peter Parker. It's Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. So basically, known realities are where Loki is always Tom Hiddleston is always Loki, and Peter Parker, Tom Holland is always
or
Spider-Man.
unknown realities where there isn't a Spider-Man.
Yeah. But so basically, every reality known was what Kane was keeping under that flow of time. There were other realities, but it was always Tom Hiddleston was always Loki. And then so basically, why he was destroying realities where it was Sylvie or Digger Loki or Kid Loki. He was not letting those realities branch out.
Or
He was always, using the thing to have the TVA go and cancel out that timeline. And so, but then once the end of Loki happened, all those realities started branching out, and Sylvie produced hey, if y'all became me, what I'm doing, y'all still get it back together. But since Sylvie killed him, they kept going out, and then that's why the events of Spider-Man were able to happen. That was what I thought.
I'm gonna read off the
which I already said that.
The last few comments before we go. But before I do that, real quick, explain it. Why was Captain Marvel able to easily be destroyed by a statue being dropped on her so easily?
I know why.
I have a theory too. Well, did you accept it, or did you think, are you on the side of that doesn't make any damn sense?
How heavy was it?
Oh, exactly.
How heavy was? Because that is a humongous statue, right?
Right.
But then it's also Captain Marvel.
We're talking about Captain Marvel who can burst through ships.
Yeah.
What do you think, Danny?
It's because if you noticed, Wanda was sucking out her power.
I thought about that too.
Yeah, so
she was. That's why her armor was breaking off her face.
Yeah, so all her power was leaving, and Wanda was basically like just sucking all her power out.
I thought that too.
That's why
her weaker.
Why? Because Agatha taught her how to do it.
Yeah.
She knows how to drink. We're talking about two beings.
I mean, yeah, we already seen Wanda do it once.
Who were created by Infinity Stones.
Yeah.
So they have that in common, but Wanda has the advantage because Agatha taught her how to drink.
But I mean, Captain Marvel definitely would have flown, would have been able to fly away from that. But
she was just trying to break her. She was using all her power on Wanda,
and Wanda just kind of absorbed it all.
Yeah.
And so when she's there laying there's no power flowing through her. She's in her suit.
Yeah.
So
there's no way for
the statue to kill her.
Now another theory is it's a different Captain Marvel. Like the Infinity Stone probably affected Rambo differently than it affected Cara Danvers. She probably has a weaker power level. Cara Danvers probably just has a higher power level.
We did see how fast Scarlet Witch was able to
as you see though, she did throw a statue at her previously, and she got stuck in the wall, but she still survived that one.
Yeah,
because all her power wasn't taken yet.
I was noticing that. I thought that the longer and longer that fight was lasting, I noticed that their powers were connected.
Yeah.
And the whole time I was watching that, I was thinking, all I could think about was WandaVision. Like the same thing happened with Agatha. I was thinking, Miss Captain Marvel, you're messing up. I think Wanda's draining you. Because she would know after seeing what Captain Marvel did at Endgame what Captain Marvel was capable of.
Oh yeah.
So I was.
She was able to go toe to toe with Thanos for at least a few seconds before he got the Power Stone and.
Yeah. But seeing what Captain Marvel was capable of, and seeing all that, and sensing that maybe her powers also came from an Infinity Stone, I was thinking that she was using the trick that Agatha taught her in that moment in real time. Obviously, it couldn't be explained. Otherwise, the movie would be another 15 minutes long.
Right.
But you wouldn't have such a fast-paced action.
You could tell that the power was.
I felt like the powers were being.
That's why, when she was laying there, there was no energy flowing through her. It was
she wasn't about to get up. She was severely hurt. Yeah. And she was not going to be like, I'm going to fight you again.
I mean, because as you see, there was that statue thrown at her first time, and she was able to fly out the wall still and come back after Peggy got killed.
Maybe a sentence or two, or a couple of words of explanation would have made more sense. I know how to. It's easy for me to thank you for giving me your powers or something like that. You just made me strong.
Thanks for your powers.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Because obviously she knows how to drain powers because that's exactly what she wanted to do to America Chavez.
Oh yeah.
She knows how to drain power.
Or was it that she was, pushing her own powers back onto Captain Marvel, and her powers were overwhelming her to the point where her armor was breaking and making her weak.
But if that was the case, her powers would still be there
Yeah,
to
I mean,
protect
it
her.
looked like she was like nothing, like because
It looked like she was being
because
drained.
we know Captain Marvel can survive if she has her full power.
Yeah.
And she looked powerless in that
Because
moment.
the way she's able to survive in the vacuum of space,
Right.
The power it cloaks
kinda
her,
like-
shields her.
Yeah,
Looks like
yeah,
a
that's
shield
So,
around her.
so
Yeah.
whether she was, so if her powers were being
That's
thrown
why.
back
That's
into
why
her,
when
they should've protected
when
her.
Thanos headbutted her,
It didn't do anything.
nothing happened.
Yeah.
She had that protective little barrier
So
all
He
around
had
her.
to get the power.
Yeah.
He had to get the
But like
full
a-
power
like
of the
a-
power
yeah.
stone to
Yeah.
knock her
But like
out.
a headbutt did nothing to her because she can withstand.
So either
Normal
either
attacks.
A, Rambo's version of Captain Marvel was not as strong as Kara, or B, she was being drained the whole time.
Because I mean, she was hit by a statue and survived that first statue.
But not the second one.
But it was after she came back after Petty got killed. She came in went head on with Wanda because she was the only one left, and Wanda only had to focus on one person now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
I do think she was the most powerful opponent in the Illuminati.
yeah. But as we know now, what I've been saying all along, Wanda is the most powerfulest. I've been saying that for years.
She is.
But Captain Marvel can do this. But this proves.
What was that?
This proves
And
that.
some people were like,
Those
what about
haters-
Thor? Is
Brie
Thor,
Larson.
is Thor the most powerful, or
Right.
is it Scarlet Witch?
Thor: Love and Thunder is going to answer that question.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But before we clock out, we got a lot of new questions that came in from, or some statements that came in from the unoriginal comics.
But you're right here.
He says, I gotta agree with Gio on this one, was from the earlier conversation, of course, because y'all are buddy, but y'all are partner, y'all are here trying to team up on us against T3 Medias. If I say up, the unoriginal comics are gonna say no, go down, go. If I say left, they're gonna say go right. Yeah, well, I know the scam you guys are running.
So who would win, Scarlet Witch or Thanos? Scarlet Witch.
Oh,
She was already going to win in Endgame. She was
The Illuminati handled Thanos like it was nothing, and Scarlet Witch handled the Illuminati like they were nothing. That's why the Illuminati was so confident that they could defeat Scarlet Witch. Their Wanda had never gone through all that drama. They defeated Thanos before Wanda went through all that pain.
Yeah,
so their Wanda was still at a lower level. So when Reed Richards was like, "Shut up, Wanda. This guy could talk you to death." They thought they were talking to a person similar to their Wanda.
That's why they.
Then they learned the hard way.
Yeah.
No.
That's why they thought Doctor Strange was more dangerous than Wanda.
Oh, yeah.
Because Wanda was Scarlet Witch.
Because Captain Marvel was like, "Oh, we can handle the witch who decides to dream watch."
Yeah.
That's her exact words.
We can't trust this Doctor Strange because of what we know of our Doctor Strange.
Right.
We can beat this Wanda because we know that our Wanda is just some mutant that can't do nothing.
Has like a few little magic spells.
Yeah,
They learned in real time.
She can do a little magic.
They learned in 4K in real time that they were wrong on both counts.
Yeah.
But
Really
but
wrong.
the second that she took away
Black Bolt.
Black Bolt's mouth, Plan B. They immediately scrambled.
Yeah, they're like, wait, oh no, never mind. Reed Richards is now spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. What was that? One of the best line from the movie. Is your wife still alive? Yeah. Okay, good. Then your kids will have somebody to raise them. Bye bye.
The whole crowd when that said, there was like,
That
oh
was
shit.
Do you remember if they went silent on that? The biggest
I
pop
did.
in the movie was when Reed Richards showed up.
Yeah.
Yes.
I feel like
Yes.
our audience went dead silent when she said that to
Yeah.
Reed Richards.
I was like, oh my gosh.
Everybody
I
was
definitely
like,
was
oh, no.
We're not
That's
expecting
when
that.
that's
Like,
when it
what
went
was up
straight
with-
horrible.
What was up with Peggy and Captain Marvel sitting around letting Wanda do this?
Yeah, like they just
What
they
did
could've-
they do?
That's good. Maybe throw a shield to disrupt her.
Yeah.
She threw her shield right
So
after
let him kill Reed.
She did throw a shield at her, and then when she caught it.
Oh yeah.
twice, and the second time she killed her with it.
Scarlet Witch has disruptive magic. There was
Right.
they were dead. I feel like Professor X had the best chance again.
So like, there's one question I got asked. Like, did she just break his mind? Because it happened in their heads.
She killed him in the mind, and
But like, I mean,
Well,
is
he
he
was-
dead?
he was
Dead?
killed him in real life.
He was
But,
going
like-
inside Scarlet Witch's mind, who was already inside Wanda's mind.
Yeah.
So I guess she just has enough power to do that. Whereas
So is he dead though?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, he died. She plopped down on his chair. He was gone.
Well, she didn't like physically kill him.
I know,
She
that's
killed
what,
his
like-
brain, which
if your brain dead, you're dead.
Okay.
yeah,
That's it.
She snapped his,
But here's something.
Yeah.
Me and Jason, we talked about this earlier in the show. Because somebody brought this theory up. The 838 universe buried me. They were mixing science and magic, as we saw.
Yes.
They didn't go through the same things that the MCU went through with Thanos. They defeated him easily, which means that all the Infinity Stones should still be in play.
Yeah.
So when Mordo gets himself out of that little
Like
ditch,
you told me this.
he can come. He probably got out of there, saw that Wanda killed everybody, and went, let me go to the vault, grab the time stone, and bring everybody back.
As we know, that can happen.
I'm thinking that could happen in that universe. As long as Mordo is still alive.
Oh yeah.
I'm thinking that nobody is
We
dead.
didn't see him die.
He never died.
He just stuck down in that trench.
If the time stone is still in his possession, he can bring all his friends back.
So Christine will come back. Find Mordo. They'll take off. They'll take off the.
They'll take off
power dampener.
The power dampener. He'll go into the vault, grab the time stone, bring Professor X and everybody back to life.
As you know,
I mean, Scarlet Witch is still gone and did what she did. She got what she wanted and she did what she did. But he does. But everybody else doesn't have to be dead. Then.
No.
As long as Mordo is still alive.
And it looks like they killed Thanos without using the Infinity Stones.
So they still
had an axe in his chest.
Yeah. So the Infinity Stones
had his sword.
Yeah. So the Infinity Stones were still in play. If they killed Thanos at that point, that means that Mordo
and we noticed that Thanos laying there dead still had his armor all on.
He would have only had 4 stones at that point.
Yeah, it looked like he had 4 stones.
They were on Titan, so he didn't have all the stones.
He didn't have all of them.
I think you saw like
they were able to kill him before he got all.
It looked like he had all.
Before he went to Wakanda.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
Which means they still. Either way it goes, Thanos is dead. They now have the stones, which means they probably kept the stones.
Or do you think that they don't like a higher source of power like Doctor Strange? Do you think they might have destroyed the stones too?
No. Because they were all alive. Nobody was disfigured.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have been necessary because if they killed Thanos at that point, Mordo should. Doctor Strange should still have the time stone.
Right.
And if they killed Doctor Strange, the Mordo should have the time stone because he's now the Sorcerer Supreme.
And he as you know, he wasn't in that flashback. Mordo wasn't in that.
He wasn't in that flashback.
So because he wasn't part of the Illuminati.
Because he was congratulating himself for tricking them for killing Doctor Strange, tricking him into messing with the Darkhold.
Yeah.
So he was probably rubbing the time stone like, finally got him. Yeah. So
I'm the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, now I'm the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right.
So I'm thinking that Mordo probably got out of that little ditch that he was in, found his friends, brought them all back to life. Or at least he could.
Oh yeah. He is definitely. I mean, as we know, Thanos did division, so you can definitely just rewind to death.
Time, bring them all back.
Yeah, I agree.
Actually, she killed him pretty quick.
Yeah.
It was like, if I got 5 minutes, I can bring him back.
Yeah.
As long as they die within 10 minutes.
I mean, I think you can rewind time as much as you want.
Yeah.
Because as you see with the apple, he was able to rewind the apple all the way to
exactly.
all the way fresh, all the way to rotten. He was able to do it like a few times in the first movie.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's like a limit on time
that
you can do with the time stone.
That's good. But all right, last couple of questions that came in. Let's see, what was it? Where we're going to talk about what happened to Krasinski. Oh, we already did. This was the spaghetti thing, right?
Yeah.
They are around the same age, so it makes sense if she never ran into Spider-Man because Spider-Man didn't exist yet. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see. Also, the original comment says, I messed up and watched Doctor Strange without watching WandaVision. What?
Why?
Boo this man.
Boo!
Was this someone who I met at the theater then?
One of the guys.
Whoever, which one it was, why?
Yeah.
Why? I met you at the theater. Why?
Yeah, what the hell?
This is the Doctor Strange that you saw at the theater, just so you know.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
his name is Daniel.
Yes.
Let's see. How quickly would Scarlet Witch beat Spider-Man?
Superman.
Oh yeah.
Superman. Yeah, very quickly.
I mean,
And she's the master, one of the masters.
as long as it's MCU Wanda. As long as it's the MCU main Wanda, then yes.
Yeah,
I'm Scarlet Witch.
Vulnerable to kryptonite and magic.
And she's a master of magic.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And on top of that, she can warp reality. Oh, a Kryptonian who's vulnerable to something called kryptonite is trying to attack me. Okay, let me change the whole planet into kryptonite.
Exactly. He's
What are you
weak.
gonna do?
And
Then he's weak, and she can kill him.
Can only do something if he's close enough, like punch her or.
Yeah.
The thing is, Scarlet Witch can do
I mean,
this
well,
from a
technically he can
distance.
fly up into space and then super laser you from
He
space.
could, but she could, block the laser.
Yeah,
just
I
like
mean,
she
yeah,
blocked Captain Marvel's beams.
Yeah.
So all Wanda has to do is look at the camera and go, "No more Superman," and then he just disappears.
Now that she has reality-changing powers.
He's gone. Now Scarlet Witch all day. Let's see. Eric says, I think Eric is it Moroga? I think it was explained what happened to the Infinity Stone.
Yes, but we were talking about a different universe. In the main universe, they're gone. I was talking about in a different
In
universe.
And Earth 838.
In the 838 universe,
we
they
see-
wouldn't have had a reason to destroy the stones because
We just see four of
I
them.
guess it was just
in the
Thanos'
gauntlet.
idea where they only brought corruption.
Because he didn't want to be
Right.
tempted to use them again, so he
Yeah.
destroyed them.
Yeah.
He was the only one that wanted to destroy them. Why if they defeated him so fast, they would have no reason to want to destroy the stones.
Right.
If anything, they would take the stones and just store them.
Because as the Ancient One says, they're like they help maintain the proper flow of time.
Yeah.
And so without them, they can cause nasty realities.
Right.
Which is, now there's a multiverse, and that's happening with.
Yeah. So I feel like the scene when Bruce goes to get the Time Stone, but it's Ancient One. That whole conversation explains why they want to destroy the stones.
Right.
Because they help preserve that proper flow of time. And now that the MCU main timeline doesn't have those stones, well, they're really reduced to atoms. They kind of still exist, but they're like atoms.
They're not in a physical form.
Yeah, they're not in
anymore.
a physical form like
Microscopic
they used to
now.
be. Yeah. So they're not really here.
What do we got? Let's see. Eric says, I think it was unoriginal comics. So what idea will Doctor Strange even... What will Doctor Strange... Well, probably what Doctor Strange 3 will even be about. I think we talked about that.
Yeah.
Obviously, Cleo.
And whatever this incursion that happened.
Yeah. Will it be finally what brings in the mutants? Would it be... will it just be Mordo?
Dormammu.
I think Mordo is going to make a deal with Dormammu or something like that, or maybe another villain.
I'm thinking like a team up with Clea and Doctor Strange
Yeah.
because they're supposed to be married in the
Yeah.
comics.
Yeah.
They do.
Will Mordo finally come to his senses and be redeemed, or will he stay a villain? I like him being I just like them being at each other's throats and being kind of jerks to each other.
I feel like those trying to have like a. I mean, because he's going around taking on the sorcerer's powers.
Yeah.
And there's tons of
I
sorcerers
mean,
out there.
he didn't kill him. I mean,
No,
he
he
just
just-
took his powers. So,
Yeah.
So it is kind of like he is a thorn in the side now.
He's
Of
just a thorn. So
Yeah.
he hasn't crossed any Wanda lines.
no.
He hasn't
No.
killed anybody.
No, and she is ruthless.
He just feels like there's too many sorcerers out there.
Let's
Can't
see.
say that's a
messed
Wanda.
up. Doctor Strange
She'd
3.
kill him if you said that to
Yeah.
her.
Uh,
Thanos didn't get all of them?
Eric says Thanos. Yeah.
Well,
Thanos-
and 838, no.
And
In 838, he didn't get all the stones.
No.
So
It looked like
They wouldn't have no
because
reason to
when he
destroy
was there, you kind of saw the gauntlet. I feel like I saw 4.
I have to look
Yeah.
back.
But destroying in the MCU, destroying the stones or having Captain America send the stones away made sense because they saw full hand what
Yeah.
That's
why she
happen
was-
if all the stones were in place when they saw the snap. The snap never happened in 838.
Yeah,
So,
so-
why do we need to get rid of the stones?
Right.
It's theoretical at that point.
I just thought with how the Illuminati presents themselves as they don't like things that are of a dangerous power that they might have thought of destroying the stones themselves, but that's just a theory of mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's why
I mean,
they're like,
they,
we need
they
to destroy
probably
Doctor
knew
Strange.
they probably knew what the potential was, but they would probably charge themselves of being the ones that would be responsible enough to store.
We stopped the one guy who wanted to use
wanted
the
to do
stones to wipe out half of all life.
But we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So,
No. So, like,
we,
there's nobody else
we
who
are the
wanted to do that.
responsible ones. We'll store them here
Yeah.
in our safety deposit box here in Baxter Building.
Before another villain
Before
gets them.
and wait, hold on for a second. Is Wanda's in the front door? I'll be right there. Excuse me, let me go handle this real quick. And they never came back.
Nope.
Because they thought the
It's like,
stones was the...
more like, we'll vote when they return.
Yeah.
So they're not coming back.
This is a group of men, this is a team who just defeated Thanos.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, they would be confident that they could handle anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Of course. And they got their asses handed to them.
And I think that says something that they could handle Thanos, but they couldn't handle Scarlet Witch.
Right.
Because Thanos
But as we know,
barely
like
could handle Scarlet Witch before she was even.
of course,
Scarlet Witch.
whatever they did with the Book of Ashanti, also.
Yeah. Now, if Professor X was smart, wouldn't Professor
He's
X
supposed to be.
Wouldn't Professor X have scanned Doctor Strange from this universe's mind to know what this Scarlet Witch was capable of?
I mean,
he knew.
Maybe he
scanned
did.
his mind to know that he could trust this Doctor Strange. But
like,
didn't
let's
scan
find
his
out
mind.
let's find out what kind of Doctor Strange you are.
I'm like, let's find out what kind of Doctor Strange you are. Holy crap! Wait, your Wanda is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
And then remember before they all go separate ways, it's like, say if you are to escape this place alive, you need to go do this. And Morgan's like, what? No, we can't trust him. So I feel like Charles knew he could trust him.
Charles knew he could trust him. That means he should have known better than to mess with this Scarlet Witch.
Well, I feel like he didn't use his powers to his full potential because he has the power to control people, to control people's minds. But he didn't control Scarlet Witch's mind. He only entered her mind so that he could try to save Wanda.
Yeah.
He only did that, but he didn't try to control Wanda herself.
Yeah, but I'm talking about when he scanned or read Doctor Strange's mind. Those memories should have told him how powerful his Scarlet Witch was.
Right.
Yes, but I guess they just didn't.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
He didn't do it.
Well, I mean, if he did, he would have let the Illuminati know, hey, you do not want to mess.
Yeah, this Scarlet Witch is not like our Scarlet Witch.
No, she will kill you.
She is on a different level.
Yeah, she is a force to be reckoned with, and we saw that.
Yeah.
I will say though, the deaths in the movie, I think they were pretty awesome to see. You don't usually see a graphic
brain pop.
It was twice. Two brains exploded.
I do like what Sam Raimi did. With
it was the perfect movie to do it in.
Yeah.
The moment when Scarlet Witch crawled out of the gong like the ring, like what's her name from the Ring?
That was a creepy sequence.
Man, that was creepy as hell.
And she really did the full leg thing. She did the whole thing.
How she twisted when she came back out of it.
The way she limped and stuff.
Yeah.
That if the whole movie was like that, because the movie was kind of chopped up. First it was fast-paced action, it was fun, and then finally it got into some really horrific things.
Mm-hmm.
If it would have, do you think the movie would have been more better received if it would have stayed all MCU-y kind of action, or stayed 100% all horror the way it was in those moments?
I think it was a good 50-50 with everything.
I mean,
I think it was better that it was.
I feel like it shouldn't have been horror vibes until after we find out that Wanda was the villain. Yeah. It makes perfect sense why, like, the first fighting Gargantos, it was more like how the MCU is. But then we find out, Wanda's the villain. So then basically we go to Hermitage right afterwards. That's when the horror sequences begin. Right. I mean, it mostly was Wanda being all creepy and horrific like.
Yeah, but I did like the action and how she destroyed Hermitage.
Dude, yeah. And how she was able to, she found the one weak spot.
Yeah.
Like the one sorcerer who was like,
yeah.
And then just fortify your minds. The one sorcerer.
He got right into his ear. You don't want none of this, son.
Yeah.
I'm gonna destroy you.
And run
like a little. Your grand score is not good enough to handle this.
The one sorcerer who wasn't fortifying his mind.
Car insurance.
Yeah, exactly. I'm here to speak to you about your extended car warranty.
As I love those horror vibes, and Professor X was asleep in this movie. Yeah,
he was asleep.
Yeah, especially after he got his neck.
I felt they brought in the horror vibes at the right time.
Yeah.
After she attacked Hermitage.
Yeah, but when she went full the Ring with her hair and all that stuff, I thought that was pretty cool.
Like her face all cracked up, and she's all contorted, and then she brought it all back, and I was like, oh dang.
That's something I have never seen in a Marvel movie, and I welcome it.
Yeah.
And I would like to see more horror vibes. Thank you very much.
As long as it's involving Wanda, then yes. That was perfect.
Or Charlize Theron.
Well, we started on that one. Honestly, okay, I'm gonna put a vote to whoever wants to think about this. Is Scarlet Witch dead?
No.
Yes or no?
No.
I think no.
No, because one, it's what Doctor Strange said. She's destroying the Darkholds across every universe.
But she did destroy the layer that she was in.
Yeah,
and then
but
all the rocks piled up on top of her.
But then when he's still in the universe of Sinister Strange, then his Darkhold, after the temple was destroyed, like a few minutes later, that's when his Darkhold disappears. And then that's she's destroying the Darkholds across the multiverse. So that right there was like the main signification that she was not dead. She's out there somehow, still going throughout the multiverse, destroying these Darkholds. She didn't do it all at once unless she's dreamwalking or something. And then, but somehow she did it, and she
has the power to do it.
Yeah, and she can't do it if she's dead. So, in my opinion,
that's a good point.
Yeah,
very good point.
So that Doctor Strange's line right there, she's destroying the Darkhold across the multiverse.
Is Scarlet Witch
She's
dead?
not dead.
It depends on if Elizabeth Olsen's contract has expired.
I heard it hasn't. I heard she renewed.
If her contract is renewed, she's not dead.
Yeah.
Or she's just gonna come through. She's gonna be the another universe.
She can make a campaign like keep me in the MCU.
Like she's the we'll bring in the mutant version or something. I'm still
one way or another. Elizabeth Olsen's still in the MCU.
Yeah, MCU. Yeah, she's coming. I'm still on the mindset that that other Scarlet Witch or that other Wanda was a mutant. That was a mutant that we saw.
That does make sense.
She'll be a part of
a solo movie of her that explains a lot of things and possibly showing who her father is.
Right.
I'm thinking that Wanda has that Magneto past.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking Magneto was her father because we got Professor X is there and a Wanda is there. I've got to believe that her father was Magneto.
Yeah.
I would love
to see that kind
sense.
of backstory in a movie.
I mean, if they fold the universes, maybe that will become her new pet.
Mm-hmm.
But
I heard you saying before that Secret Wars is the wars that combine the regular superheroes and the mutants together,
right?
Mm-hmm.
And that would bring the X-Men together, like you said,
right?
And it'll be a BC and an AD kind of situation before the merger, after the merger kind of a thing. Like, I did something like that in the '80s, but that was before the merger, so I was there to help.
Yeah.
But, kind of a thing, There was no I fought Thanos, but it was Wolverine. But the other guys I fought Thanos, but it was only Iron Man. Wolverine wasn't there, or something like that. It'll be a lot of exposition and explaining.
Mm-hmm. Possibilities are endless.
Yeah, it's endless. But is that lazy writing though? We don't have it now, so let's just open up a portal. And now
I think it makes perfect sense because, like I told you before, the other two Peter Parkers had no idea who the Avengers were. So in their universes,
they still think it's a band.
Because he's like I was in the Avengers, not to brag, I was in the Avengers. Great, who is that?
Great, what does that mean? Is that
a band?
Is that a tank? Is that a tank? You have a tank? We're gonna need a tank. like what the like they're still confused about that. What the hell is the Avengers? And then don't get me started. And then to have the Vulture walk up to Morbius and be like, I know this is Spider-Man's fault. Intriguing. Like, where'd you get those wings? Like, what the hell is going on? All right, guys.
Plot holes.
Into the Morbius verse we go.
Phase 4. Phase 4 plot holes.
Going against the spell.
Secret plot holes.
Morbius.
The secret plot holes of Morbius. All right, guys.
I think it's fun to Morbius.
Yeah, it's going to, I still haven't watched it.
I watched the end credit scene. I'm like, that's it.
That's all I'm.
That's it.
I will watch Morbius. I will rent Morbius. I won't watch. I will rent.
I think even if like someone sent me a direct link to watch Morbius, I'm like, should I watch it?
Well, guys, that's the whole thing. Let us know what you guys think about that. Share your thoughts and about Scarlet Witch, your theories. Put it in the box below. Let's keep talking about it. I'm going to clip a bunch of these things.
Oh, yeah.
And share them all.
We've talked about a lot.
So, we're talking about a lot of things. There's going to be a lot of clips. So, follow us on all of our social media. Hit the like, subscribe button. Let us know what you guys think at all time. And to the comments with all that stuff. What about Miss Something? She's planning to meet up with Gio.
Scarlet Witch is planning to meet me soon.
Yeah, she's gonna be all in here.
I mean, she can put a spell on me.
Run.
Is she your hall pass like Scarlet, like Charlize Theron is on? But let us follow us on, like I said, follow us on all social media, guys, if you want to, at T3 Medias. We're going to be planning some things in the future. Hopefully we're going to, I'm not going to give away
more secrets are to come.
Secrets, so check out.
Just like the MCU, secrets everywhere.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
It will be revealed soon. And you will stay tuned.
But stay right here for more stuff. If you want to follow us, you want to check out the show, check out the podcast, become a member, all that good stuff, and send us your thoughts when we talk about movies, with streaming, with trending topics, entertainment news, all that good stuff. And until next time, guys, you can follow me on social media. I'm Chris Fagan. You can check me out, Chris W. Fagan, on all the social medias, or at T3 Medias. I check those out. If you want to follow this guy, where can they find you online?
I'm Giovanni, and you can follow me on the Unoriginal Comics on YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. So catch us on there. We upload new videos, I think, like once a week. And
we're not sponsored by Monster.
We're not, but we are sponsored by PUC. So
put it up closer. You got to put it close. I don't think they can see it. Put it up closer. And that light is bright.
The original comics.
There you go.
You're covering the QR reader. Right?
Oh, I am.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay, one more time.
Here it is.
There you go.
Yeah, scan that. There you go.
If you scan that, it'll take us right to the channel.
All right.
Boom, boom.
And also, Daniel Dyer, if they want to find you and catch us at an expo or something, where can they find it?
I post either Dyer Situation 10 or Dyer Cosplay on Instagram. I post between those two, and Dyer Situation on TikTok.
And one of the best Doctor Stranges I've ever seen.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
He met me in person in my Doctor Strange variant form.
Yes, and I'm like,
he was alright.
Right.
He was alright.
You haven't seen it in person, Chris.
Yeah, he wiped your mind. That's why.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, guys.
Spell of Papa. Don't do Papa.
This was a long one. Right? We had fun with it. We have all your speculations, all your thoughts, what you think about the movies. Share them, put them in the box below to the comments. And until next time, guys, have a good one.
Peace.